according to plan. I think. Once again, I've gone live without checking anything. That happens a lot. Oh well, one of these days. I will learn. But until then... Welcome, Mr. Sherbet Snapper. How are you? Hello, it's Toon. And goodbye, it's Toon. Nice seeing you briefly. Alright, I'm on HDMI 1? Nah, I'm on HDMI 2. Yes! Wonderful. Hello, Captain Pika. Hello, Fuse. How is everyone? Hey, Rizra. Right, oh, excuse me. Thank you for the host, Aaron. So how's the day find everyone? Not at the top of the time being. Taylor should be joining us in a bit, but he's not here yet. So now I'm going to go. Oh, thank you for 100 bits Fuse.
You're welcome. Hello.
Did you predict I was going to say thank you? Is that why you wrote you're welcome? Hi! Anyway, tactical. I appreciate the 100 bits. Right, I'm searching countdown. Just public countdown. Until the room is formed, people will need to find me via the search. However, after it is formed, it will be able to be joined by my OpenHost friend code, which I've decided may as well stay in the top of the stream. Makes no sense for it to be any other way. Nice, good prediction. I hadn't actually noticed, actually. Hello, Aaron. E3 has been, well, I mean, it's been fairly entertaining. In terms of news, I've only really kept an eye on Nintendo because, like, there's hardly anything that Microsoft or Sony would announce that I'd be interested in, so I watched Nintendo, and of course there wasn't an awful lot there. We didn't really expect there to be an awful lot there. Smash is looking very good, of course. Unsurprisingly, Smash is looking very good. Pokemon's looking so-so, to say the least. Pokemon, I don't know what they're quite trying to do. I know, I take heart from the fact that these Pokemon games that are coming out on the Switch are supposed to be like the tied-over games until the actual games come out. Because I would not like this to be the new face of Pokemon, to say the least. Hello, Scruffy. It looks very... I mean, Game Freak need to kind of consider who's got the Switch, in a sense, for one thing, and for another, Pokemon Go, yes, it was very popular at first, but its popularity dwindled when people realised how shallow it was, and it's very unfortunate that they've chosen to, kind of replicate the catching mechanics for a full-fledged title. But, you know, it could be good. I probably will get it. I think I'll get it. Yeah, I've got someone. Who have I got? I have got Tio. I'm also getting Rizra. Yeah. So Pokemon's looking dubious. I mean, thank you for the bits. Fuse? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 perhaps? Unlucky for some, lucky for me. Well, I was going to get Rizra. No, I think I did get Rizra. I lost Tio. And he's been replaced with Mr. Hax. yeah, Smash is looking very, very good. So Pokemon is dubious, but hey, it sounds good, even if it doesn't look or play good. Smash is looking very good. Hey, bro, welcome.
Greetings, MrBean35000VR!
Welcome. Hello, Isadora as well. I take it you didn't watch any of the Smash last night?
Nope.
Nah. No, that was actually a pretty fun tournament that they hosted last night. Actually, with the Smash, the Melee players did kind of get eliminated fairly quickly because I think it is still more similar to Smash 4 than Melee, as you might expect. But no, according to what everyone's saying, it's significantly faster than Smash 4 and a lot more offensive based rather than defensive based, which gives me some hope for progression on that game. You know.
I mean, fine,
it's all much of a muchness, you know?
Yeah. I enjoy watching me. That doesn't need to be replaced.
Legit. No, well,
Greetings, our Kart Wii fan. Greetings, lowercase letters.
Yeah, I was actually getting into the Smash. It was good. It was close enough and tight enough and interesting enough.
I mean,
that
you need
the
meta to develop for it to be like.
Oh, absolutely, but yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, football's been football for 100 years.
Yeah.
No different.
Yeah, legit.
Like, doesn't need
Smash
changing.
will be Smash.
Does not need fixes.
Alright, I'm just gonna front run this. Unless you can fight it out over there if they so desire. Well, I couldn't predict this lowercase, so there's not a lot I can do. Thank you to various people for auto hosts if you guys happen to be around at all. But yeah. The format was very intriguing. Nintendo presentation tournament rules are a little interesting. So it started off with doubles. They did have a winners bracket and a losers bracket. I mean, there were only 8 people across the thing, and so it started off with like a doubles match with items off except the Smash Ball, which was on and would show up once every 3 minutes or so. And then it was instant elimination, best of 1, you know. So the losers of the double would end up in the losers bracket, and then the winners then played against each other in a 1v1, which was no items Smash Ball on. I think the only thing that was truly itemless was the grand final, where they turned the Smash Ball off altogether. That was very good, actually. That was a good showing. If you got relegated to the losers bracket, welcome to RNG Central, where we will combine as many people as possible with as many items as possible, with a winner-take-all approach to speed up the tournament. It was funny though. It was good fun. People got into it too.
Yeah, this match is compelling, but.
Yes. No, what I liked about it was the sheer variety of casts that they were using as well. That was partially by rule and partially by choice, but there are a lot of characters being played, which is cool, because one thing that I found about Melee, and I do like Melee, no matter how many foxes it contains, it's still very good to watch, even if it is a fox off. But
I question this though. The standard trope is, well, the character diversity in Melee is atrocious. Like, well, yeah, but what's the character diversity in, basketball? What's the character diversity in football? What's the character diversity in cricket? What's the character diversity in chess? Like,
yeah, well,
it's about the human players, not the character diversity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, the fact that there even is character diversity is great. You don't need, it could just be literally they all play the same character. It doesn't matter. Like,
Rosemar killed us, but anyway.
But
yeah, I know.
We do have character diversity, so woohoo! It doesn't need to be big.
It's like kind of, to me, seeing a different character being played in Smash is kind of like seeing a fresh face in a sense. Not quite.
Yeah.
Of course.
But you can just do that with fresh faces.
Fresh,
I don't know.
I know, but I mean, and yes, Melee's depth is incredible because it allows people to express their personality through and their sheer skill at the game, even through just using the same characters repeatedly. I appreciate that, but it's just still interesting to see. Yeah. These bizarre matches. You like watching low-tier matches on Melee as well, because
just because it's something a bit different.
Yeah,
but,
precisely.
I question it's a standard thing that's trotted out as the character diversity shit. I don't know. I don't think it's relevant. Like I don't.
Yeah, fair. No, I just appreciated seeing a bunch of different characters squaring off, and I mean these players were obviously good as well.
It's harder then as a spectator to learn it. As a spectator, you've got to understand what you're watching. And when it is just a
Commentators seem to know what
jumble,
we're talking about.
when it's just a jumble, you can't understand. You can't really get into it in that sense. You can't understand what you're watching, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do see the same things over and over again,
Eventually
you will start to understand what you're watching. You know, like I say, with any other sport, you know the rough limits of a human being kicking a football, and so
Legit.
you know you don't need character diversity. You know roughly what they can do, and therefore you know. It's about seeing how they take what they can do and use it. How do they use that foot to kick, you know?
What is my computer doing right now? It's having a great big think about something.
Hard disk or...
Yeah?
No, what are you referring to?
Yeah, the hard disk. Having a fantastic think about something. I don't know why.
Have a look. Softwarereportertools.exe.
Oh god, terminate it, would you? Oh wait, no, that's not an antivirus. I told that thing to go on silent though. I don't think you will be able to terminate it because of that.
I've not tried, but that is what is using your disk. But, you know, you're dropping frames, so who cares?
Yeah, legit. I mean, there's real frames to think about as well. It's alright, the OBS saying, yeah, I've not dropped frames, but the capture preview dropped frames. I thought so many people were ahead of me, but it was a position tracker bug. So now I'm in first. And I didn't do well at the scrum. It was like,
How
well,
do I get good in Mario Kart in quiet? This is Kumala.
I think you're fastest,
in a room with low
obvious.
VR, I have a problem making it to run away, but in high VR room, I'm always finish in the bottom half.
I think the easiest advice would be to watch time trials. Because time trials are a good place to start. You can learn what works in the game, who the fastest characters are, vaguely how to use them, you know. Try to work your way up the leaderboards and something, and those kinds of skills will aid you online, because if you can break away in the first place, then you won't need to be worrying about items as much, and if it just so happens that everybody else is as good as you or whatever, rather than better than you, then you're back to playing with items again, like you might expect. You can see what I mean. So, I realise this is kind of a flimsy, all over the place explanation. However, time trials are very good.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Time trials are a very good way of learning the game. And our leaderboard system is a very good way of finding them.
But I can see what you're saying. It's a good way of learning the sort of the raw, you know, like
They'll teach you a bunch of driving tech.
How to make a vehicle go fast, and then you know the rest of it is, I guess, just experience of using items online, and you know.
Yeah.
But I guess that would explain why somebody can get a breakaway on a straight against you, you know.
Yeah.
Around the corner, you know, they pull it faster, they get advantage.
Yeah.
Farewell, lowercase letters.
Bye bye. Well, I don't think I've done amazingly well here, but I have got a breakaway, so I don't think I'm coming last.
PVR still broken, so we're still using the.
Yeah, this is still the crappy one. I've not even tried to fix the PVR. I kind of want to discuss with Sword about borrowing his power supply just to see if
This one works,
yeah, just to see if the PVR is dead or not, you know. Oh, listen to that distortion. It's so good. The floor with this capture card is pass through is exceedingly loud. Or perhaps I need to limit the volume of the Wii, which I cannot do. So.
Without such tools as CDP.
Yeah. Yeah, I did also appreciate a bunch of the quality of life fixes that I saw in this Smash game. Smash Ultimate, I think it is. The minimap is very, very good because you can see all the blast zones on it. So when someone's off screen, you know exactly how far they were from the blast zone and stuff like that. Which, as a spectator, it's very good.
Makes sense. Greetings, Varian J.
Hey, Varian. And another quality of life fix, which I think is kind of unnecessary, but whatever, is when a player gets hit, the smoke trail that comes off them is in the colour of the player who hit them. So you can tell exactly who landed a hit, especially in the more violent matchups and stuff like that. Was I not sure anything else? I think sudden death has changed, but we didn't see any of that. So I think sudden death, instead of dropping bombs all over the place, zooms the screen in, which moves the blast zones closer and closer. So it's an interesting take on things. Twitch is claiming 1.59 seconds of delay. Well, could it be true? You could post a message in chat and see how quickly it shows on the stream.
Fundamentally, there's no reason to believe that wouldn't be true. I mean,
yeah, if this low latency mode is doing particularly well, they're actually beating the original latency that they had in the past.
It's going to be 100 milliseconds or so to process on your computer. You know, presumably 200 milliseconds, 300 milliseconds to the Twitch servers, wherever. A few hundred milliseconds processing on their end, and then 300 milliseconds to viewer.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Absolutely. I missed. Oh well.
I don't know how the latency to broadcaster is calculated, whether the broadcaster actually includes timestamp information in there. You know, is it part of OBS? Is it output? Is the timestamp on your computer?
Who knows? It could be several hours away with varying time zones.
Yeah, UTC.
This is a broadcast of 5 hours and 4 seconds.
Yeah, well, UTC would probably take care of that quite nicely, I think. We do already have mechanisms to deal with time zones.
I am aware. I am mostly kidding. Okay, you can take that blue shot. That's fine with me. Good.
We'll be down at the 1.59 seconds area. You're starting to think about how accurate is the
latency.
computer, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's a very, very fast turnaround. Needless to say.
the algorithms to get time to a computer, network time protocol is pretty accurate actually. It does a very good job.
There we go. Maybe they're using it. Just verbatim.
Well, no, I mean, so no. So that presumably what will happen is OBS will just use your system time if that is how it works. Or they could do their own negotiation, I suppose. But
yeah.
But your
Depends how good it is.
Your
frankly.
system time would be updated via network time protocol.
Yeah. Or it could be when Twitch sees it based on.
Yeah, but then
with an arbitrary delay.
Yeah, exactly. So you could do some guesstimate of the latency to broadcast to the.
Maybe they do like a ping at the very beginning of the broadcast or something and be like, yeah, that's the delay between us and Twitch, and then we just need to add how long it takes for the videos we can also get home,
I mean, hard lower limit, you'd have to start talking about, well, how long does OBS take to process a frame?
Yeah.
How long does Twitch take to process a frame, plus all the latencies in between?
Yes, indeed.
I don't know whether Twitch takes a circuitous route, if we're streaming to someone in the house next door, presumably the message goes all the way to London and back at least, but does it go all the way to London and all the way to America and then back again? For a service like Twitch with the 30 seconds of latency, who cares? It doesn't really matter whether you go to London, Sydney.
Here's what makes a fool out of us again.
Whereas if you're trying to do low latency, it kind of matters how far you're willing to go. Do you route to the nearest Twitch server and back again?
Yeah. Welcome to the room, Luigi.
I also don't know whether the MPEG standard requires you to know whether the encoders for it that we use require you to know several frames in order to encode a frame.
Yes.
Or whether the algorithm is such that you can do it progressively. You can get a frame and immediately generate some MPEG output.
I mean, like I said, the easiest way you can test whether or not the latency is true is type a message in chat. My chatty should react fairly quickly.
Oh no! That's not the point. I'm talking about,
no, I'm just talking about the streaming.
Yeah, but that's not the question was asked. The question was asked about the hard lower limit. I don't know if MPEG is one of those standards where, because some compression standards require you to know more than, you need to know further into the future. You can't encode frame X until you know frame X plus 2 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know of at least one video coding like that. But yeah, it's annoying as crap to work with. Let me tell you.
Greetings, Seven Skulls. Yeah, I do know a bit about video encoding. I've never really dealt with one directly, but I do know a bit about the algorithm.
It's just general stuff. Hello, Chaos. Welcome to the room.
I know more about sort of lossless compression for.
Why is Twitch so glitchy? It's not. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch isn't pretty few glitchy.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I can't spin my roulette. This is kind of awkward. green shell is apparently dead. Whoa! I do love the massive star bashes you can get in these scrums. Anyway, I've got highest box priority, so please give me a damn box. Okay, enough. Dumb scrum. Dumbass scrum. Ah, good.
Well, today could be your day if you want to. You can come and join us. It's a public room and there's still some spaces.
One space. It might have gone by now. But the daisies will come and go, so.
It's an acquired taste.
It is countdown, yes.
But give it a go, you might enjoy it.
Remember, the most people, it's the Japanese who tend to be making random runs of countdown.
So the score, but the score. Well, excellent. Let's give it a go.
What's going on?
Jeez.
Oh, nice. That works. Now, beware, this is violence, and do not feel bad if you can't win for the first few races. Yeah, it sometimes takes a while to get used to how this works.
So the thing with countdown is it looks simpler than regular racing, but it's actually harder than regular
significantly more complicated.
So don't be deceived by the fact that it looks like everybody's just throwing items at each other and it's going to be easy. It's harder than regular racing.
Yeah.
So, like, don't be disappointed if you lose.
Yeah.
Even though you think you should win.
No, you get the... I'm gonna use it now.
I mean, it's hard to say in the limit whether countdown will be more skill-based or regular racing will be more skill-based, but certainly your skill in regular racing does not necessarily equate to your skill in countdown. So if you're coming in with a lot of skill in regular racing behind you, you may be surprised at the relative lack of skill.
How little of it transfers, yeah?
Yeah. I think people get surprised and offended that their skill in racing doesn't just immediately transfer into I'm a good racer, I'm a good countdown player. Like, they are different skills.
Yeah. Oh goody, I got to overtake one corpse. Dear God, this guy. Good, keep him coming. Bugger me. Why did I even try that?
Whoops.
I'm very disappointed in myself. Very, very disappointed in myself. This is with a capital L.
Wow.
Thank you very much for the sub, Aaron!
Yeah. Thank
Or the resub. The 3-month resub, in fact. It is muchly appreciated. You continue to enjoy CTGP and the streams. Yes, our room is currently full. I'm sure people will come and go in due course, but for now, anyone who's interested in joining will have to wait outside for a little bit. Alright, where are we going? We are going to... drum roll. Oh my god. Womp womp.
Potentially a suboptimal choice.
8. Can. Perfect stability, so this time I'm actually going to be able to score points. Because that's what I'm blaming from my previous woes. Especially that Cataquack, that was all lag.
I fell.
I wish it were lag. Oh! Why would you do that? It's just rude. Rude! Rudy goes right, so I'm gonna go left. Because you get a lower ranked item box. Too bad it was golden in this case, but if it had been triple reds, that would have been particularly good. Oh god, no.
There's a scrum going on.
Yes, hence the massive shaking lag that I'm feeling as I traverse the track. frames grind. Nope. Well, maybe some. No, I don't. I really don't know why you would bag this one, but I'm okay. I'm okay with you guys bagging this one because there's no way I'll lose to you.
Greetings, the not so amazing dads, who says,
Yo.
I think I'm interested in your Wii U.
Oh yeah? You're talking about the one that the one without any wires and whatnot that I purchased with the intent of fixing.
For sale. He is, yes.
Oh, cool. I'll have to talk to you about that then. Organising it right now is the best of things to do, but yeah.
Yes, just type in your credit card information and then we'll process the payment.
Do not do that. This guy is a thief. Do not listen to him. Actually, I can't. Like. Charge cards, frankly. Just use PayPal. Yeah. So it is a fully working Wii U, 32GB PAL black console, no wires, no gamepad. Formatted and fresh. It seems to have the latest firmware version. So if that is to your liking.
I'm not entirely sure if I'll be let get it. Could you hang on to it for a while until I see?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have any mechanism to sell it yet anyway, so it's going to be a warranty for a little while. Good, I scored.
Point.
Hey, I scored. But I ain't gonna make it to the cannon.
All the boost ramp? No.
Nah, dude. Nor is it item range, so I can't hope for something to land on my head. Oh, he ran out of time and hit the boost panel. I'm jelly.
Greetings,
Mad
47
jealous.
hacks.
Hello. Now let's see how well those baggers do. And Tio's doing alright. He's still moving, but the axe isn't gonna last that long. Just saying, guys. There's not you don't bag a track like that.
So, for anyone who is new to the tactics, MrBean35000VR, what makes you choose whether to bag a track or not?
Mostly shortcut potential. So how quick can I catch up, and how well are the red shells gonna work? Those two are the things that you really need to consider when you are starting to bag. If it's like Mario Race where you're like, yes, I can do all of the off-road cuts and my red shells will always connect because there are no walls, then bagging is very powerful. But on a course like 6 King Labyrinth where there are lots of 90-degree turns, item routes that don't always work, and basically no shortcut potential, it's far more effective to be in the lead placing traps for people around blank turns. You will get more points doing so, even though I didn't really demonstrate it there. But equally, you don't there's less potential for people to catch up because, I mean, you'll have other people doing what I'm doing, it's trapping corners, and they will be slowed down. And people who have been bagging will be slowed down by that. It's sometimes very hard to play catch up when there's a load of shit all over the floor trying to stop you from doing so.
Yeah.
So, that is my vague guide to how much you should be bagging. You should be doing it a lot if you've got grassy plains with lots of red shell potential, and otherwise you should be trying to front run.
So, of course, that Grumble Volcano is a bit of a mixed bag. What would you say with this one?
This one, Grumble Volcano. Yeah, I've had variety of strats work on this one. I found that mid pack works pretty well on this one. So you try to stay about 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
And gather what are known as auto points, and then otherwise just throw things back and forwards to hit people behind, throw things in front and behind you.
So you would bag if other people are bagging because you wouldn't want to be in first.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna briefly pull on the brakes here and see how many people
drive. Yeah, I think that's an important tactical point. Is you can't score points in a field alone unless it's auto points. So
yeah.
Generally you want to stay vaguely close to everybody else.
Right, I'm happy with 5 points from the scrum. I can fire a couple more.
Yeah, that was 5 very rapid fire points. So
And while they didn't work, I don't feel discomforted because there is a lot of potential to break
You've
red
now
shells
got
on this
15
track.
seconds of extra time, which is huge.
There's still plenty of opportunity for me to place things because the thing about this one is the respawn cut is quite powerful and one true, and it catches people up and allows them to dodge shocks, which is why this one becomes quite a dynamic track. Because otherwise, I think pretty concisely it would be a front running track.
Ah, yes, I hadn't thought about that shortcut. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's quite a giant shortcut that can make up.
And yes, it dodges shocks. You could be down there and dodge a shock, and especially in countdown because people aren't tending to use them tactically. They're just like, oh my goodness, I've got a shock. That's 3 seconds. I better use it, before I lose it to something. Like the guy in the star who's trying to troll me because he needs points too, And it would happen. I'm getting close to lapping people,
Which is never a good thing.
It's dangerous. Sometimes you can score points off them, but it's never easy.
They're gonna
You require green
an
shells
armory
pretty
to
much for
score
that.
off you, yeah.
The tracks that I laid around here have been cleared out by something.
Alas.
I've lapped someone just now. So far, my on the move scoring has not been going that way. There's the respawn cut in action. Yeah. It's very big. Not just the guy in second using it. He's now first, of course.
You've got to feel relatively confident at high points. I mean,
Yep.
who knows how well other people score, but I think
Yeah.
statistically,
The track
there
also
would
gets
probably be some people
smaller
who
as it
got-
goes along, which makes it even more interesting. It becomes easier to trap the further into the race you get because the roads get smaller
True.
by falling rocks. That was lucky. Like this section here, it's very good. If I had gotten a trap, I would have laid it straight in the middle of that. I shouldn't have used this. I should have waited. But it might be my 16th item, so I'm hoping I'll just pull another one in a moment. At this set here, and then I can take the respawn cut. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Risky with the power flying around, but I managed to pull it off. Lapped again in the off-road.
Woo!
I don't like these people who are lapping me. They're just kind of there and big and painful.
You and second are very close, but it's all going to all come down to who got more points between you two.
Probably him. Yeah.
Unless he stops right now.
I think he was.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, he has
He's
more
got another
points.
one. Okay, but you probably do have.
He only had one more point than me. I'm surprised not a single trap of mine worked that entire race, and that's unusual.
Yeah, it looks like you got second.
Yeah. No, there's no way anyone can overtake. Nobody had the axe. Let's put it that way. We weren't waiting long enough for anyone to have had the axe, but yeah.
Well, interesting.
Our stream is trash in a good way. I don't quite get it, but thank you.
You're a rubbish viewer, but in a good way.
Yes, because you're here. That means you're brilliant. Would you stop unseating my extremely important disassembly tools that I didn't even know I was getting?
And twiddling them. I don't know why. I just end up putting them down over there.
Chalice has a tri-wing screwdriver fetish. And possibly tiny Phillips 00 screwdrivers. Yes, someone who gets it.
Welcome home, shitty viewer. But in a good way.
Absolutely. I don't cape hammers in this room because if I did, I'm sure I'd just accidentally drop it on something that I wanted to keep. However, it's a screwdriver if I drop it on something or Chalice chooses to wave it around and twirl it won't accidentally deal a bunch of
Long
damage.
Skyway.
Goody goody.
So limited shortcut potential and high trapping potential.
I don't know if the trapping potential is particularly high either because this one's like you can see what you're doing with the red shells
drop,
fall.
isn't there?
So.
Like, yeah.
There's a track like this is just kind of like a low scoring field because like you can see everything that goes on around you just about. And the red shells don't work.
I installed TPR on my SD card, so how many time it takes to be on my Wii? It should be on instantly. If you're talking about letterbomb, perhaps maybe that's what you're thinking about.
And there's no waiting period to start CTGP.
Yeah, CTGP. If you put it on your SD card, it should be on. So
You should be able to find it.
If I've
If you've
understood
not
your
followed all the
question
if
correctly.
you've followed all the instructions correctly, you should be able to find it. If not, then you will need to investigate where you've gone wrong.
If you've got any trouble, just ask. We can help
While we're
you.
here, we're quite useful while we're here. And we're not when we're not.
There's blind corners around here, like there's
Yeah, I'm
walls
laying
and
stuff, but I mean I've got to wait
blind
until.
jumps, whee.
I like putting things on this boost
Yeah,
ramp
makes
though.
sense.
Because while some people just go, yeah, it's not even worth dodging at, you know, because I'm on a boost ramp. And I'm like, I'm glad you think this way. You know?
I agree.
I'll put that there. I don't think that's any good, though. Wow, where do you find CHBR on the Wii? Well, what instructions have you been following to get it running out of interest?
We need a bit more info to help you, so what have you
Finding
done
it
so
is,
far?
Okay, it's okay, the chat doesn't need to help, we got this. So, no homebrew channel setup.
That's okay, you don't need the homebrew channel, don't worry about that. What instructions have you been following? How have you put CTGPR on the Wii?
Daz? Please, no helpful advice. We will take care of it.
Letterbomb, yeah, okay. So Letterbomb.
Alright. Well, if you've got it set up correctly and Letterbomb is also on the SD card, what you want to be doing now is going to the Wii message board and looking for, over the past few, because the message board is arranged by date, over the past few days on your Wii, looking for a red bomb. It might be hiding below the today's achievements message, which you can move the message out of the way by holding A and B while pointing at them. Yeah. You need to find that. It will be on the day before you downloaded the exploit, if you see what I mean. So the day before you downloaded the Letterbomb,
So if you
according
downloaded
to the
it today,
Wii,
yeah, if you downloaded it today,
it will appear yesterday on your Wii. Now that of course assumes that your Wii has the correct date and time on it as well. So if it doesn't, you might want to fix that quickly, because then you'll make it easier to find. Because if you've got your date set up wrong, you might be in the wrong year or decade even, so, and it could take a while to scroll. So the fastest solution is to go to your system settings and make sure the date and time is correct. Then go to the message board.
no, ignore the chat. Okay, chat, honestly, Kraken, don't listen to the people in chat. Don't lose your temper. Don't listen to the people in chat. Just listen to our voices, because people in chat
are the guys who made CGGP.
are confused. So just ignore the people in the chat and listen to us. Okay, we know what we're doing.
So follow the advice that I've been giving you just now. Make sure your Wii's date and time is correct. Then go to the Wii message board and look through a few days.
Just listen to us, Kraken.
It doesn't matter what HBC is.
Don't worry. Ignore chat. Honestly, they don't know what they're talking about. Just ignore them, please. Just listen to us.
47 hacks. I'm timing you out because you are not listening. Bit late, he decides that he is listening to us, but whatever.
Just listen to us. Honestly, we know what we're talking about. Trust us. We know.
No helpful advice in chat, please. We will do it. All right.
Because the trouble is, people try to explain what they did, but it's different for everybody. So, like, if you listen,
we know all of the things.
I know you think you're being helpful if you're explaining what you did in chat, but like that doesn't necessarily correspond with what other people need to do.
You're right, Flame. This is England.
You don't need HPC. Don't worry about that, Kraken. Honestly, listen to us. Just listen to us. Listen to our voices. You're doing Letterbomb. That's fine.
You don't need the homebrew channel. No. If you HPC is short for homebrew channel, you do not need
that.
Okay.
Just Letterbomb is fine.
You're doing the Letterbomb setup. We know what you're talking about.
We know what you're about. Listen to us. That's
you.
fine. Letterbomb is good. So what should happen is, if you've done Letterbomb correctly, on the Wii message board, you should see a letter with a little bomb in it. It's red. It's got a little
very
bomb
prominent.
logo,
It might be hidden below.
and it'll show up either today or yesterday or the day before or something like that in the Wii message.
Whoa! I almost full started pretty badly. Instead, I got the full boost start. I actually started on 3 or something. I did just screw you. Boom! Ow.
You get capped seriously here.
I am getting capped seriously. Let me just back up and consider my options. I mean, I've got to think about it carefully when I want to go through here. Yeah, dude.
No, you only need the unzipped files on your SD card. The zipped ones don't matter at all.
Depending on how much you know about folders, the folders on the inside of the zipped file should be the same on the SD card, if you see what I mean. So the inside of the zip represents your SD.
The sentence made any helpful sense. So
the root of the SD card should mirror the
just
entire
extract the zips to the root of the SD card. That's...
Yes. Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay.
Well, the trouble, as I say, with the... I mean, yes, we probably should do with a video. And the trouble is, like I say, everybody's slightly different. Like, the instructions are different for different
I am
people.
planning to do a new video on all this, but yeah.
Ideally, lots of videos.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of tutorial videos if I'm doing one for every occasion, and then people will ask me how to find the others, but yeah.
Just make
Sometimes that kind of thing is required.
No,
so
no, it's fine. Just make the chat box
contain the correct video,
take
yeah.
you to the correct video, yeah.
Yeah. I'm an idiot.
No. There's no need to wait. It should show up immediately. It should
So
be.
like I said, there's no waiting.
If it's
There's
not
literally
shown up
no
immediately,
waiting.
there's a problem, basically.
Yeah.
It should always show up immediately.
But
Like
do
I say,
confirm that your Wii's date and time is correct.
Yeah, your Wii needs to have the correct date and time, and
If
it will
you do
either
remember when you
appear
downloaded Letterbomb, that would be good information.
today or yesterday or the day before.
It should be it should be the day before you downloaded it. In no case should it be today. Unless your Wii's date and time is wrong. To that extent.
I'm covering time zones.
I'm not sure that's how it works, bro, but okay.
But do make sure your Wii's date and time is correct, because
Yeah.
that could be a... So if your Wii's
I'd like
date...
to emphasize that one.
If your Wii is showing the wrong date and time, it's not going to work.
You'll be looking for a while. Finally, I got a random point off for Isra. I needed that.
No, honestly, stop listening to people in chat. Honestly. Just listen to us. Stop
Okay, people who are being helpful in chat will be timed out. Okay, so stop being helpful in chat because you're not being helpful.
Just talk to us.
Let me confirm to you right now, you are not helping. As much as you think you might be. So don't listen to the chat, listen to us. We made CTGP, we know what we're talking about. You want CTGP, the best way to get it is to talk to us. Hey, Stack Overflow. I'm glad you're enjoying this.
No, honestly, just listen to us.
Okay.
Which
So
bit
do you
don't
know what a
understand?
date and time is?
No, don't be sarcastic. What bit don't you understand?
Yes, I am the official OTP waifu. Praise me.
Yes, that is correct, Kraken. You have to download Letterbomb
And CTGP.
and you need to extract them to your SD card.
Both of them must be extracted
They must
to
be
your
unzipped,
SD.
extracted
Yes.
to the SD card.
So you shouldn't end up with a zip file on your SD card. You should only end up with the files inside the zip file on your SD card. And folders.
Yeah.
Hello, Zakroff.
Greetings, Zakra!
Yes, the birthday bonanza is over. They are extracted. Good, good. They're all extracted on your SD card. Okay, next step. Go to your Wii, make sure the SD card is in it, and check the date and time on the Wii.
Yeah.
And make sure that they are correct.
What date and time does your Wii show? Is it today and
Yeah.
right now?
Do the instructions as we say them, and we'll make it step by step, easy peasy, you know, as best we can anyway.
No, he fixed that glitch, Daz.
What glitch was that glitch?
The strikers.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got rid of that a little while ago. Aha, look at what I've got. I don't feel powerful. Nope. Use that shock to amplify my point score. I failed. He had a mega. God.
That's fine. You can just ignore those, Kraken. That's fine. You can just the non-extracted files are just you can just leave them lying around. That doesn't matter. Just that's fine. Just as long as you've got the extracted ones. That's the ones that matter. The non-extracted ones you can just ignore.
Yeah, that's fine. You may need them later, so leave them be, but you can ignore them for now.
I know you're trying to be helpful, Daz, yeah. It's confusing when multiple people are asking questions of someone, they're trying to concentrate on different things. It's easier if we just do it just us, you know.
Yeah. Just need one more point before I become God.
Before you sub.
There we go.
Raise your axe.
Yep. Take a shortcut to get into the lead.
Yeah, the action speed is 10 exactly.
Yeah.
But it's
But it
also
also means max. No! Couldn't have done that about a second ago, could you? Oh no.
Indeed, the track got updated. Very nice.
Yes, very pretty. I've got this, yeah. They're going to have time to compete with me. I'm getting blue again. I'm going to finish over here in the grass. And yet, Mario Circuit was what I was asked to put on. There you go.
Well done, Skull. Getting better.
Aye. You checked date but still nothing. No. Have you confirmed that the date and time on your console is correct?
Yeah. So we want to know.
First of all, is the date and time actually correct on your Wii?
Is it showing today's date and the time right now? Is that correct?
Let's take this one step at a time.
Yeah, we'll do it step by step by step by step.
So, first of all, do you have the correct date and time to begin with? Today's date. What is today's date? We've got
13th of June.
13th of June, 2018. Does your Wii agree that that is the date? Okay, so they do. So it is correctly set up on the console.
Yeah.
Right. So Letter Bomb should appear. Okay, assuming that you downloaded it today, it will be on the 12th. It'll be if you've got a today's achievements message, which is the playtime message. It may be under that. If you did not download Letter Bomb today, it'll be one day before you did download it. So, do you remember what day you downloaded Letter Bomb? If so, check one day before that. Downloaded it today at 12 AM, midnight in other words. Well, check on both. Check on the previous 2 days. Just look around the today,
This is
yesterday,
this
and
is
the
why I
day
give a
before.
range
Yeah.
because you can get
Fine,
these
fine.
situations.
So the Wii message board for today, yesterday, and the day before. Try moving that today's accomplishments message around.
Might be underneath it, yeah.
It might be underneath it. I do think it usually appears in the middle of the screen, so I haven't bagged. Oh well. Often people end up bagging this one and realising that it doesn't work. I guess we'll find out if that's true today.
Greetings, Yoshidor
Hello,
97.
Yoshidor. It's still here. It's kind of unfortunate. Oh, that's the guy in second, I believe. Chasing me around. My score is now 2. As I was dying to a pow, someone tripped over one of my trucks.
That honestly won't make a difference, Kraken. If that's not the problem. I can tell you right now that's not the problem. The zip files can stay. It really doesn't matter. So if the letterbox message
to us. Don't jump the gun.
If
we'll
the
tell you
letterbox
exactly
message didn't show up, and so you've had a look at
You're confident that it's not there?
today, yesterday, and the day before on the Wii message board. You moved all the messages around, and you can't see the red letter with the bomb in it.
The obvious first problem that might be the case.
So that's what I want to check. So you've definitely done all of that. You've checked today, yesterday, and the day before on the Wii message board.
Yes, Daz, now please.
No help. It's alright, just listen to us. Yeah, so you checked today, yesterday, and the day before on the Wii message board. You moved all the messages around, and there's definitely no red letter with a little bomb in it. That's what I want to check.
It's not even a little bomb, it's a big bomb.
There's nothing for this month or the month before. Okay, no, it's not months, it's days, don't worry, so that's okay.
As I said.
So, okay.
Actually,
Okay,
yeah,
fine,
okay.
that's fine.
So the first obvious one would be it's not extracted correctly.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
damn it.
could you take your SD card, put it back in your computer, and we want you to have a look at what the files are on it, okay?
I don't even know who did that. Or me. Hello, Boomer.
Greetings, Boomer's back!
I'm Furrian laying down the law. We're going to do item rain. Well, maybe later, but for now I'm just playing Countdown. Cheer. The press reset button. No, you put SD card in computer.
Take your SD card and put it in your USB. You can leave the Wii running, it doesn't actually matter. You can
Yeah,
just,
it
you
doesn't
can just literally plug it from the Wii, it's fine. Put it in your computer again. We need to know what files are on it.
Yeah. I think the correct folder is private, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'd limit the amount of jokes about bombs and whatnot as well, just in case it confuses like square bombs. No, we're not looking for a square bomb on the message board and stuff like that, you know. I don't want anything to be even slightly misleading. Toad Raceway. My VL's going up and up at the moment. Only one more for you?
Okay, Boomer, so it sounds like we'll have another spot at the end of this race, so if anyone's wanting to join, then there might be a good opportunity.
Yeah. This would be a bagging track in my opinion.
It's a public countdown room, so just hop on in and search.
Or you can add my friend code and go that way. Clone them. Oh, well, okay. 4 for 3 is not bad. Oh, that went well. Let's see, can I do this bloody cut?
No, you can't.
Of course I can.
Oh my god, you can! What? I've never seen you make that on purpose. So you pretty much set for a race.
Oh, about that. Welcome to the lapping crew. At this point, I think the most useful item I can receive is green shells. You can also trap places like that, you know. Don't want to go too fast.
Yeah.
Not there. There's someone. It wasn't him. Good, good. Almost set. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I hope you enjoy when you can play, dear. 7 days will go by fairly quick. Such a got stuff like E3 to keep us entertained.
Yeah, just put your SD card in your computer, Kraken. Because we need to have a look at what files are on it. Because obviously something's not working. If it's not showing up on the message board, like
then that probably means the files aren't on
that
in the right
suggests
place.
to us
So we're going to
there's
check.
some problems. We need to have a look at it on the computer again. We can't fix that on the Wii.
Thank you for the bit fuse.
Greetings, laser trap underscore.
Hello. That bit of bounty to try to get me to change modes what I'm playing. Shocked by the guy in front of me. What is this? Yeah, it's everything as well. I imagine player is not very happy with me. Thank goodness for that. I've not been paying attention to item count numbers, but yeah.
Greetings, Soka Tower.
Yo. God damn it, I should have taken the cut. Just like, nope. Lol, geek, dunk tongue. I didn't expect him to do that.
Not normally laser trap, but you can get it as a result of the 16 and 18 and whatever item thingy. So on online play, is it 16th item, is it, or is it the 17th? No,
17th.
Your 17th
19,
item
21,
is
22,
always
23.
a mushroom, and your 19th is always a mushroom, and your 21st is always a mushroom, and
22nd, then
and
every item
item
subsequently,
thereafter,
yeah.
but because it's countdown, there's no such thing as just a mushroom.
So it becomes a shroom green. We lost 3 people. 3 spots for interested parties.
Okay, yeah, 3 spots in the room if anyone wants to join.
Fair enough, laser trap. Surprising to me that the countdown is actually years old, so people can have not played it in years.
Well, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Let's do a little bit back in here. It's pretty warm in here. With the windows open, maybe I should open them further.
Yeah, not very wide.
Can my red health please do literally anything? That'd be great.
Karen is in the room.
Welcome to the room. Oh. Screw it, I don't care.
Run away!
That scum is worthless. It's dangerous and it's worthless. I don't care that this is obviously a bad position. I will make it work.
I remember the first track I played with Sacred was, and I got beat to the end because somebody moved down the hill. Yeah, the rolling down the hill losses are good.
Fun times, eh? A good taste of what was to come.
Someone accidentally pressed the home button during Nintendo Treehouse Live, and it'll show the early Smash Bros. Ultimate menu graphic that's obviously just a placeholder. It's quite funny.
Surprised I did anything.
It's always amusing when devs show off their screens and you can see all the little things like, ooh, tiny.
Yeah. Good. We're getting somewhere. Present pretty one who tricks that well. I heard the pokey die. It's kind of unfortunate. Fit? Probably not. That's not gonna get there in time.
Greetings, it's Toon 7. Of course, there's this one Nintendo Portable advert where they normally superimpose gameplay on the Switch screen in the After Effects. They just totally forgot, so you could see all the debug menus.
I see. Well, I failed. If I'd done that trick a little better, I would have gotten a few more positions, but never mind. Whew. And going down. We filled the room.
It's a disaster. MrBean350VR.
Yeah.
National travesty.
This is the worst day. Someone is not pleased with E3. Yeah, joining us. We have a spot.
What's the E3?
I did say.
You did.
And a whole lot of Smash. Don't you just want your E3s to be exclusive to that one game? It was like Breath of the Wild last time. Or was it the time before? I don't even remember anymore. It'll be the time before. Oh god. Like, we've got one thing to show you, and that's Breath of the Wild. Let me take you through everything. I mean, Breath of the Wild wasn't enough to hold my attention anyway, because I didn't like the open world style of the game. I didn't think that was going to be good. And I was kind of annoyed that after years we weren't getting a more traditional 3D Zelda. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. Normally I'd be quite interested to see like a bunch of gameplay. No, you're just wandering around climbing walls. Oh, bye.
Fear me! I am the one.
Well, you can all rejoin this room. Just move this up so I can keep an eye on bit rates and stuff. Good times. Okay, we lost this race out actually.
Right, we have a joiner, so.
Cool. We're accessible.
Greetings, Mr. Bruin _ who gives
Hello, thank you for the bit. Just digging around here.
Yes, and for anyone who's not seen this, is just a bug of Countdown that if everybody else disconnects, the race continues nevertheless. So Bean is currently in a one-player online countdown.
It's good.
But it is a normal public room in every other way, and so he's joinable. So if you want to relieve his loneliness,
You can come join me.
if it persisted until the end of the race and nobody joined him, the room would end.
Yeah.
Because he was the only player. But as long as somebody joins him before the time is up, the games continue. Why does Countdown do that? Essentially for the same reason that
The race doesn't end.
the race doesn't end when everybody else stops.
It's out of time and you're not.
Because we disabled essentially all of Mario Kart's normal logic for the race ending prematurely. So with Countdown, the race only ever ends when you'll run out of time, obviously, that's the idea. Whereas normally Mario Kart can end the race for lots of reasons, like, you know, everybody else has finished, or
Therefore, the race is over.
30 seconds have passed since the winner concluded, or nobody else is in the room, or whatever. But we disable all of that logic. Basically, the entire logic was gutted, so the only way for the race to end is time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just the infamous. Okay, here we go. There is CGRV 1.0 zipped and unzipped. Okay, I'm more interested in the letter bomb.
Because
So,
that's more important right now. Do
when
you have
you
a folder
say-
called private?
Yeah, when you say letter bomb unzipped, do you mean there's a folder called letter bomb, or is there a folder called private? You have a folder called private. Okay, that's good. And states.
What's places? What's inside your private folder?
Wait, hang on, can I just go back a sec? Do you have a folder called letter bomb and a folder called...
Yeah, that's an obvious one.
If you've got a folder called letter bomb, something's gone wrong.
You don't need that. Yeah, the files inside.
There'll be a zip.
folder.
There'll be a zip called letter bomb. That's fine. You don't need to worry
But
about
do you
that
have
one.
a
But
folder
is
called
there a
letter bomb?
folder called letter bomb? Or a
Or is
directory?
it just
if you prefer.
private? Yeah. They decided to cast me.
So you have a
off of,
folder called letter bomb, just to confirm what you're saying yes to.
You need to. Please. Yeah. Talk more clearly. Equally talk more clearly. This is not helpful. Damn it, even with a bad bounce, I couldn't get on that box.
Greetings, the island underscore
Yo.
underscore.
Welcome, welcome.
File called letterbomb. Do you have a folder? So you've got letterbomb.zip, right? You've got that folder, yeah. But do you have? Sorry, you got a file called no. You got a file called letterbomb as a zip file.
Yeah.
Do you have a folder called letterbomb? That's what I'm really interested in. Have you got both? Yeah, so private should be on the root of yes. So private should be on the root of the SD card. Is where private should be. So you could go in to the letter bomb and copy private and paste it to the root, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So that's wrong. You shouldn't have a folder called letter bomb. So go into the letter bomb folder, take everything inside it, press copy or cut or whatever, and go back up to the root and paste. It shouldn't be in the folder. It should be on the root, if that makes sense. That's the mistake you've made.
If you've got the same problem with, if you've done the
Yeah.
same thing with CGGP,
You've
will
probably
need
got
to
the same
fix
problem with
that.
CGGP.
This track is annoying. Oh good, I get to score again.
What?
How did I avoid that?
That was quite artful.
Yeah.
Tried to join the bean room and put me in a different room. Ah, okay, so that implies we've got a duplicate room on
That
the
makes
server,
sense.
which is not entirely surprising.
Yeah, given that it's split like that.
There's no way to get around that. Basically, you just have to keep joining until you get the right one.
Yeah.
It will basically randomly put you in one of the rooms.
That's not gonna arrive in time, unfortunately. I needed it to. That was dumb. Yeah, this chart is useless to me at this point.
Alas.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like this is a job for Smart Suspend, given that I can't see who's doing what.
Trust in the smart suspend.
I do.
It will save us.
It's a good piece of kit.
Yes, you can delete the old private folder. That's fine. That's fine.
Don't do that. It can contain saved data
Alright, don't delete it. Fine, whatever. Who cares?
and Wii channels. So yeah, don't do that. As Shadows is sitting there giving very bad advice, I wonder why he bans the chat from talking.
It's a perfectly fine thing to delete. You probably don't have anything in it.
Just merge it. It's easier.
Yeah, okay.
He'll ask if you want to merge. Just say yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway,
Too
moving
late.
on.
Oh well.
Copy the one from Letterbomb and paste it up top. That's fine.
Yeah, if you've made the same mistake with CGP Revolutions download as well, you'll need to do that.
So go into the folder,
Bunch
get everything in it, and copy it to the top.
Yeah.
Once you've got the stuff out of it, though, Kraken, don't delete the Letterbomb stuff until you can delete it afterwards. But
No, just
keep
don't
it-
delete it. Fucking hell, stop it. You want people not to complicate things? Let's just say no. Don't delete it. There's no need. There's legitimately no reason to ever delete it. Agree? Agree. Thank you. Stop talking. Oh, this is a problem. He is considered ahead of me. I can't hit him with red shells. That's not gonna work. I'll try.
no, Daz, no, shush.
First. I think the Peach has either gone off screen or DC'd. Off screen, coming back. Oh dear gosh.
Phosphorium with the CT. Ah, ban.
Kabloom! Each of these blue shells is worth 2 points.
We have a setting for this now. There is no excuse.
Yes, but texture has.
No, I didn't say. No.
Yeah?
What I'm saying is, somebody with a track in their my stuff, there is a setting for it now.
Yep.
There's no excuse.
Yeah. The track is out. And so many blues as well. It's like, how many do you need? Each one of them is worth 2 points to throw as well. This Varian also gets hit by them. Looks like Item Rain, but it's actually Varian Rain. Oh dear god. I am a fool! Being confirmed a moron.
No, you cannot plead ignorance. Permanent ban from Levi. The law is the law.
Well, if you're curious, why don't you try toggling your My Stuff folder?
Ah, okay, Kraken. So it sounds like what you've done then is you've copied the files from Letterbomb correctly, but you've not done the CGB correctly this time. So that means you're going to get the homebrew channel if you're seeing that message. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, it's a homebrew channel installer.
Which is fine if you yeah that's fine if you want the homebrew channel.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with getting the homebrew channel. It
And
will
then
give you
using that to get
CTGP as well.
CTGP, yep.
So you could just stick with that if you want to, or if you don't want the homebrew channel, then come out of that. Don't install it because that's not CTG. That's the homebrew channel installer you've managed to get there.
I mean, CGGP is not in the right place on the SD card either. Same problem, most likely, just do what you did again. But with the CGGP download,
problem,
as we said, yeah. If you're asked to replace files, say yes.
Yes.
Alternatively, if you did and you did not replace files, then installing a homebrew channel will actually yield the CGGP.
Well, I mean, you can just install the homebrew channel if you're happy with to get the homebrew.
If you want the homebrew channel, you can install it.
There's nothing wrong with the homebrew channel. You might as well get it.
piece of
It's
kit.
kind of a useful tool. Like, if you're there and you're on the installer, there's no real reason to abort. Like, you might as well just have it.
Yeah.
He's not going to do any harm.
So there's that. I didn't touch. Well, we
Okay,
did
that's
say-
why it's not worked then. Okay, so like I say, if you want the homebrew channel, you're at the homebrew channel installer. You can just install it right now,
and use that to launch CGGP in a bit.
and that will get you CTGP.
when it's in the right place.
Yeah.
Won't get it automatically, but yeah.
Yeah.
Says the guy who. This guy.
I do actually teach professionally.
I know, and you're very bad at it.
I'm not, no. I'm actually quite good at it.
I beg to differ. Welcome to Shadsoft Infighting. I am your host, Bean.
Greetings, Sadai25_.
Yo. These ice fizzies are making it very hard to get boxes. There we go. Yeah, fine. There. Whoop.
CSV Flame. Hey Bean, when will you start selling custom Wii skins? Good fucking question.
Hopefully soon. It's high time, isn't it?
Yes!
No, I don't think I scored for that, unfortunately. That drop-off is unfortunate.
So, how do I install Homebrew? So, you're at that screen, yeah, with the this software must not be sold alone or part of the bundle.
That is the homebrew channel.
That is the Homebrew channel installer, so just go through what it says. Follow the on screen. It'll say press A to continue, and then it'll say something about installing. I don't know exactly what the message says anymore, but that's the tool. You're already there. Just follow the on-screen instructions,
And you'll get a homebrew
and you'll get the Homebrew channel. So you're already there. If you closed it, you can just go back onto it. The bomb should still be there.
Yeah.
It'll just do the same thing
progress.
again.
Somehow I've scrambled an axe.
Greetings, Ishmon!
Hello, Ishman. How are you?
Who says this map is bugged.
Ah.
Hey Bean, when can I play Siege Speedway backups? Never.
Cool. Why would you want to?
You don't need a link cracking, you've already got it. If you got to that screen yet, you said you got to the screen with the...
Please pay attention when you ask questions.
Maybe they didn't hear. You got to the screen with the, like... The...
I blame your shitty teaching. He clearly does not understand.
Well then tell me off, not him.
I am doing.
You got to the screen that said this software must not be sold alone or as part of a bundle. Yes, so you got to that screen. You said you got to that screen. So you typed those messages in chat, so I know you got to that.
That is the homebrew installer.
That is the homebrew installer. You don't need a link. You don't need anything. You're there. You've done it. Well done. You've done it. Just follow the on-screen instructions. It'll say press A to continue. You have succeeded. There is no link.
Well, it must have an average VR of 7,500 or higher, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get mirror mode right now. That would not be possible. Press 1, then at the top there's a... Then it says what can and can't be installed. You press A to continue. Then at the top it should say something like Homebrew channel can be installed. Press up until you get to there. Press A It'll say, would you like to install the homebrew channel? Select yes. Use the D-pad on the Wii Remote to navigate, and your A button to select options. And then, once that's installed, you click exit.
It doesn't make anything special happen, it just literally puts the homebrew channel on your system. That's all that will do. So it won't make you play online instantaneously, it won't give you CTB instantaneously, but it will put the homebrew channel. So it just literally, that's all it does.
Patience is a virtue.
But that's a useful thing.
Ignore
the iOS thing, that's fine.
It's talking about Boot Me, right? You don't need that.
You don't need Boot Me, that's fine. Just the homebrew channel is good.
Yeah. Well, going to 9-lap challenges, guys.
Greetings,
I'm
Harvey
going to die.
Garfy05.
Hello. How are you? Nice. Well, that's my first point.
Yes, I think when it's done installing, you do restart. Yes, if it says to. I can't exactly remember what happens.
It boots you into the homebrew channel when you click exit.
Yeah.
So you'll be a screen filled with bubbles.
Yeah, you should get to a screen filled with bubbles that says homebrew channel. My first Twitch comment. Well, welcome, Harvey. And you nailed it with a greeting.
Oh. Marion has killed MrBean35000VR.
Maybe it does, but I mean the internet method will only work for so long anyway, so and it'll be kind of slow. So maybe not.
Are we doing that now? CGP downloader?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that. Ignore shadows, we're doing that. I refuse to not do that.
I didn't say we weren't going to do it. You've misinterpreted what the maybe is about.
Ah, okay.
Bean!
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, okay, Kraken. You press continue. Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Continue. Hooray! Yeah, that's fine. Just follow the things. Continue, exit, whatever it says. Just follow the instructions. You want them to install the homebrew channel, so follow the instructions. It says homebrew channel is installed, then great, you've done it. Well done. And then you can exit.
Damn it.
But I can't remember exactly what it said. I can't picture the screen, so
You can't picture anything. Channels 121.
that's true. That doesn't change my sentence.
Look at me. It's not good. No, Rizra, why would you do that? I can't make it thanks to that blue. And thanks to Rizra stealing the box that would have contained a mushroom, presumably. Yeah.
Indeed, Ishwan, indeed. We've come a long way.
Biff.
Yes, install the homebrew channel. That's good. Yes. Perfect. Yes.
Yep.
Do that.
I win. I almost 9-lapped it.
How did you get your name?
I took the name Mr. Bean, which comes from the me. And I was like, I've got a lot of VR, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I will append 35,000 VR to the end of it, therefore people will know who I am if they see me. And once it's installed, you click the exit button at the bottom.
Perfect.
That will take you to a screen filled with bubbles.
How exciting.
And if it does, we're making progress. Exit. Exit, exit, exit. Don't need boot me. Only exit. Remember Daz. No advice. I know you're echoing me, but no advice. We have a spot, by the way, Ishmon.
We have an Ishmon-shaped hole in our hearts. And we need you to
I
fill
have an Ishmon-shaped hole in my Ishmon-shaped heart.
I know, Daz, I know. But honestly, it's easier if there's only one set of instructions that's consistent
Yes, bro.
and that
You can leave it all to
occasionally
me.
yells at each other. Screen with bubbles, hooray!
There we go. Does it have anything else on it, or is it just bubbles?
Yeah. No, that's good. It's good. We're making progress. We're still not finished, but we've made excellent progress. You've made it to the right screen. Congratulations. So that's the homebrew
That's
channel.
the first step in this.
Okay. Step 1, you have the homebrew channel. Okay, now you need to put your SD card back
into
in
the
your
computer again.
Okay.
Because CGPR is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can leave the homebrew channel running. You don't need
That's
to
fine. You just leave it.
the Wii on the bubbles.
Leave the bubbles. Leave the bubbles. Bubbles are good. Leave the bubbly
I like
screen.
bubbles. Yeah.
Take your SD card out of your Wii, leaving the bubbles alone to float, and put your SD card into your computer again.
This scrum is ludicrous. What? Told ya. Woo! Woo! Oh, okay. Oh, true and green in 10th. Oh god. Evidently I'm down on the track for him. Good.
Right, so take the SD card out of the Wii
Into the computer.
and put it into the computer, because we need to move some things again.
CGP is still not in the right place. Letterbomb is now in the right place, as you know.
So you've done the letter bomb correctly. That's good. Well done. We don't need to do that again. That's fine.
Basically, what you need to do is repeat the same step again for the CGP
One step
folder.
at a time. One step at a time. Come on.
Aye, aye. I'm about to get my arse handed to me. Excuse me, very
Or to move your ass in such a way that they get the point on their screen and are satisfied.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Rather than pursuing.
Yeah. Oh, this ain't good. Okay, Richmond, stay back. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Yeah, so the stuff... So, you've got the CTB Revolution V1.0 5. Whatever folder, yeah?
V1.0.
There's several files in that.
Blimey.
So there's an apps folder.
CGPR
There's
folder.
a CTGBR folder.
Boot.elf.
Boot.elf, yeah.
Readme.txt.
Readme.txt.
Just take them all.
Take all of those things and put them on the top.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like you did with
Like you did with,
Letterbomb.
so you need all of them, not just the CTGBR folders, you need
All
all of
of
them. So
them.
the apps, CTGPR, Boot.elf, all of them. Take them all, put them to the top.
This was bad. Oh, that's good. Just in time.
Oh, it wasn't still. I was going to say, on his screen, you just leap over his head.
No such luck. The shock is the lightning.
Okay, that's fine. Yep,
Yeah,
click
replace that.
Click replace, that's fine. Greetings, Rock Mario Kart.
Hello. I was not voting Ghost Valley 2, but I think we've already played that one.
Mr. Bean the repeat voter, instant ban from Wing Fi permanent, no redemption.
The heck? Where'd that come from?
It's the rules.
Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, then let's put the SD card back into your Wii.
Yeah.
If you've still got the screen with the bubbles up, it might now show something new.
Yes. So when you
When
put
the
your
SD
SD card
card is
in,
back inserted.
if everything's correct,
Something new should show up.
it'll show up.
Yeah.
It'll say CTBR channel, and that'll be exciting.
Terms of enthusiastic tutorials.
Hey, we're almost there. We're making good progress.
We are almost there.
This is the last step.
And then there's the installation procedure for CGP.
Gosh.
Fortunately, you can just mash A through most of that, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's all on screen. We don't need to walk you through that.
Anyway, one
step at a time. One step at a time. Okay, so you see, does it now? So your SD card's back in the Wii. Do you now see CTR channel
at the top of the bubbles?
In the bubble screen, as it appears.
There's not. You have not copied the apps folder. Which you will do.
There's obviously a duplicate room bug T01, which is why there's some weirdness on chats off. And greetings, T01.
Hello. Can I please anything for the road? Yeah, good. Thank. Oh God. Alright, that worked out better than I thought it was going to. You go that way.
No trouble, Kraken. I hope you enjoy it.
Are we there yet?
I'm guessing by the thank you, yes.
Well, we don't know that yet. It could be a message of appreciation. Right, so once you've gone through the CHP installation first, so go into your CHP, it will talk you through a bunch
Well, yeah,
of
let's
crap.
just wait. So it's gonna, when you start CHP, it should go through a long-winded message stream.
And we'll
to you.
need
Just
to install some updates.
go through all that stuff. So once it's got to the CHP main menu with the launch game button, tell us again. But just for the moment, just go through the stuff that appears on your screen. It'll show a bunch of messages on your screen. Just read what it says. You know, press yes and OK and everything. Read what it says, and then tell us when you're at the menu.
Yes.
Are there spots in the room? I think there are.
Well, evidently you can't count to 12, so therefore you're wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong.
There were spots earlier.
Greetings, a Mangalore, yes.
Yo. Interesting variant. I'm just going to go wide to avoid you.
No trouble, Kraken. I'm glad that we could help you. We have thanks a lot.
Good. Have fun. We need more cups. Oh no. Oh no, Rizwa, there was no need. Absolutely none. I don't know why you did that. It seemed kind of like a yeah, screw you bean, for some reason. I should reset the capture preview as well. Let's do that now. Stop. Start. Ghetto software.
There is one spot in the room as Varian leaves to eat.
Okie dokie. GG Varian. Let me open those windows a little wider. Ishman is in.
Speaking of eating, I'm surprised not to have seen the hydrated box.
Well, stay hydrated, but is more about drinking, you see. So
Yes.
you're a little off in your assessment.
Well, I'm more saying that it reminded me of the absence of Stay Hydrated box.
That makes far more sense.
Yes.
Sense was made that day.
How will we know when to drink when there is not a robot telling us?
Well, indeed. We might just have to, go by our gut feeling. That's worrying.
But I don't get drink feelings in my gut.
Oh dear.
I know.
Whatever will we do?
What language do you use to code CHP and Mario Kart Wii itself?
Mario Kart Wii was almost certainly
and Japanese.
Yeah.
No.
Mario Kart Wii was almost certainly C++.
Well, it's a
CGP
mixture of C++ and C, to be precise.
Yeah, and CGP is C and ASM.
Yeah. PowerPC assembly code and C.
Well, aren't you greedy? But you forget that I have the highest box priority here.
This does not seem like an ideal scrum location.
No. Although it is pretty tiny here. Woo! We're all friends here and all that. Probably a good thing.
I was to join your CGV friends list, I mean, either is good. If they're duplicated, they'll both be equally as unsuccessful at finding a room, so...
Well, that's probably not enough points to win, but whatever. Maybe I can sneak some more on lap 2. These green shells don't seem like they have much purpose. Okay. Yeah, something tells me I'm going to be more defending myself than scoring more points.
Greetings, 666 underscore coach underscore Baumgartner underscore 666.
Hello. You appear to be confusing my brother with your master name.
Well, I think we've switched into German in the middle.
Shouldn't you have been talking in German from the start?
Yeah.
Dear me.
I don't know what underscore is in German.
Oh. That's the problem, yes. Oh.
Is there a way to access Mario Kart Wii C++ source code? No.
Not unless someone
Oh, how
Nintendo
we
leaks
wish!
it.
Oh, how we wish there was a way to access that source code. No. Like I say,
If
not unless you
someone
work for
leaks
Nintendo.
it,
If you work for Nintendo, then go
If
ask
you work
your
for
boss.
Nintendo and I wanted to leak it, please let us know.
No,
at some
no,
point.
we don't support that. We're going to get you fired. No, we don't support that. But if you work for Nintendo, go ask your boss. If you're a pleb like the rest of us, no.
Go decompile the ASM.
No, that doesn't get you access to the C++. That gets you access to poverty C++ re-import. No, there is no access to the source code for public individuals.
Including us.
Including us.
We do not
have access to the C++ source code. If we did, our mods would be way cooler.
They would.
But we don't.
And they'd also come out way quicker.
Yes, damn straight. Greetings, Jenny!
3 seconds is not enough for anyone to do anything.
Good. Tactical.
Yes, indeed. This one was either wrecked or DC'd.
DC'd, I think.
Yes. So he did.
How do you manage to create features without it? Good question! It's jolly hard. So we actually work directly in machine code.
Yeah.
So, obviously, C++ gets compiled by the compiler. In their case, I believe it was the MetroWorks C++ embedded PowerPC compiler. Got compiled into machine code, PowerPC machine code. And we operate directly on that. So the machine code is directly on the game disk, and you can read it. There are 1.5 million lines of machine code on the game disk, and you can read them all.
Some of them are unused.
They're very confusing and verbose, and we have done all of our modding by editing that machine code directly.
Although we have gotten pretty good at it.
Nowadays, we've got to the point where we can write code in C and then link it into that machine code.
Yeah. Because it all follows certain rules, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, because obviously their compiler respects things like the ABI, so we're able to link in. So GCC and the MetroWorks PowerPC compiler agree.
You can do that by hand, Empire.
Yeah, there's no, that I'm aware of, there's no automatic decompiler. How much value that would have anyway is questionable. Like,
Yeah, interesting. You could write something like that. It'd be pretty legit.
yeah, the thing is with decompilation, like crappy decompilation is easy, right? Like you can, every line of machine code can be decompiled into a line of C++. But that's not what you want.
Yeah.
Like you don't want.
You want something coherent, right?
Is to see for loops and if statements rather than just go-tos and plus and plus equals 3 and whatever. Like you want to see it in English. You want to see it in like proper code.
That's why it was written that way in the first place.
You want variable names. You want comments. You want function names. You want that's all gone. You're never gonna get your comments. You're never gonna get your variable names. You're never gonna get your function names, apart from a select few lucky ones that we've got debug messages for.
Yeah.
The second thing you want is you want for loops. You want while loops. You want if statements. That kind of thing can be done with really good decompilation techniques.
But often these things don't look anything like that they once did.
There is no, that I'm aware of, good public decompiler for PowerPC.
Like one thing that I noticed in machine code, or this compiler loves to do with while loops, is to do them in increments of 4 rather than 1. So it'll
That's
do,
loop unrolling, yeah.
Yeah, it'll unroll the loop so it does 4 things in a row and then loops to the top.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And then adds 4 to all the normal counting variables, you know?
Yeah. You'd want to undo that kind of thing. You'd want to re-roll the loop.
And turn it back into a full while loop.
Because that's what the programmer wrote.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, you know, yeah, decompilers do exist. They're not great. I also don't know the value of it. You know, like just learn to read machine code at a certain point. Like,
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing to do is understand branching structures. So, for example, we've got a little tool internally that turns them into a little flowchart, similar to what IDA Pro will do for you. So turning it into a flowchart is useful to kind of see the bigger picture, like, oh, it's a 3 nested loop or whatever.
Yeah.
But more or less, just learn to read machine code. Like, I don't know how much value there is in decompiling, because you wouldn't get any function names, you wouldn't get any variable names. The
You won't be able to
make
adjust the
sense.
size of things either particularly easily.
Like a really good. So like I've seen research stuff on like type-based decompilation, so like decompiling types as well as just functions. So like trying to recover that, you know, there is a structure of 2 floats or whatever. But that kind of stuff is hard.
Yeah.
Because the trouble is, like, memcopy, for example, takes in arguments of,
how did
of
I not?
any type, so you can't. So you have to like ignore if a structure is passed into memcopy will access it as bytes regardless,
Yeah.
as that's really confusing. No, we'd like talking about it. Empire. Where did you learn to read machine language? On the job, essentially.
Yeah.
We kind of
taught
figured it out as we
ourselves,
went
yeah.
along.
It's hardly anyone who can teach you that kind of thing.
It's just not really taught any. I mean, like,
I
you
mean,
know,
what,
like,
what practical purpose is there
Yeah.
for it outside?
like
of what we
nowadays,
do, you know?
like
Bleh.
like we did all this before going to uni, both of us. But like at uni, we did a little bit of writing ARM assembly code actually. So that
Oh,
was
that's
that
nice.
was.
I
Actually,
didn't have to write any assembly at
yeah,
Lincoln.
we do some ARM assembly code. Oh no, it got changed to RISC-V now. It's RISC-V assembly code. But so you know, you occasionally get taught it in classes and stuff. But yeah, essentially we didn't know. We learned it on the job. So we became aware that this was what was used, and we could get access to the machine code. And so then we looked up.
Do not
how
regret
it
my
worked.
decision to buy a USB Gecko all those years ago. Bloody hell!
Good shout.
Especially now that you can't get them. GG's Chaos. Hope you've had fun.
Since there is such little information, I put my thoughts about PowerPC assembly code and stuff onto the custom track wiki. So if you go onto the custom track wiki, there's an assembly code article that I wrote that's got sort of my beginner's guide to PowerPC assembly code just to get you started with reading.
This is one of the nicest architectures to work with that I've seen. Everything else, like, I mean, fuck computers. Let's put it that way. 8 registers or something, isn't it?
x86 is 8 registers.
x86, 8 registers. Oh,
This has got registers.
I know, right?
Roku Java bytecode.
The Wii has 32 registers for 32 general purpose.
Yeah.
32 floating points. And a bunch of special purpose registers. It's great. No abuse of the stack.
But equally, actually, you know, in a way, it's kind of
the stack, but yeah.
the good thing is that you're flooded with registers, right? But I mean, you know, in a stack machine like the Java bytecode, you always work on stacks. So your brain just works in stacks. It's because we've been sort of treated to the luxury of 32 registers that our brains work in registers.
It is a luxury. It's beautiful. Give
But
us that.
you know, on architectures like x86, you don't have 32. You've got 8 registers, so you can't think in registers. You've got to kind of think in terms of the stack, you know, and use registers for like very useful variables, but not necessarily how we use them, which is very profligate, you know.
I need to have a value and need to preserve it across the entire function. I'll just put it into register.
But you know, equally in x86, you can do things. You can like add 3 to the value at the stack pointer plus 6.
Yeah.
As a single instruction.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So you know, although you don't have as many registers, you can access the stack in your arguments. You know,
which
whereas
we can't do on PowerPC.
we have to put it in a register. So
to do any kind of operand.
So if you're really working in x86 was designed to be written by humans. That's the daft thing, and that's why it's got that really convenient. You know, you can just access memory locations in your arguments. You know, add 3 to the stack pointer
where
plus
that came
4.
from. What alone? Oh, it hit me. Anyway. You know, I enjoy my registers.
Yeah.
Sure, I could do stack-based programming, but it's kind of like, why would you want to?
processor design point of view, actually, like the register file on our chip is like a massive problem, actually, like because it's obviously it's got ours has got 32, I think. Yes, yeah, 16. No, it's 32. Yeah, it's 32 on Loki. It's 32, and obviously you need to be able to read it twice and write it once every cycle, which is actually quite a piece of circuitry. And if you actually look at the size of it in terms of actual chip space,
pretty big.
Yeah, especially considering we've got 120. You know, it's like 10% of a core is the register file. Because what we actually end up having to do is we actually end up having to have 2 of them. The only way we can make it fit and be fast enough is we have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so when you write to both, and when you read from one or the other. So the first argument reads from register file 1, and the second argument reads from register file 2. But the writes go to both of them, so they're kept perfectly consistent at all times.
That makes sense.
So that's the sneaky trick we do. But yeah, they're definitely one of the slowest parts of the instruction decoding logic is the register file access. It's one of the bottlenecks.
Interesting.
How is WinFi implemented? Well, essentially by reverse engineering the Wii network protocol by observing network traffic going between the Nintendo servers, also a bit of decompilation of certain things over this, not much, but yeah.
This shouldn't have been possible, mind you, but Nintendo, for whatever reason, reacted on HTTP when the Mario Kart Wii only ever requests HTTPS.
That's true, yeah.
If so to analyze the traffic out, it was required to just simply make a 1 byte change to the URLs the Mario Kart access to change the protocol from HTTPS to HTTP, and Nintendo went with it.
Yeah.
So because they did, we were able to see the unencrypted traffic, and that's how we and Laserrat were able to get a kind of like make a parrot, effectively, of Nintendo that could say the right things when it heard certain commands, and gradually made it smarter as time went on,
Yep, so it's essentially just a case
At least just listening for what it wants to hear, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Doesn't matter if the server understands it or not.
What messages are sent in normal Mario Kart Wii play, and then sort of making a server which will do all of those messages.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's basically building a smart parrot, and then eventually making it actually know what it's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's matchmaking requires logic server side. It's not just and obviously logging even requires there is logic server side. It's not just parrot, but essentially, it's first step is understanding see what messages are sent by the game to and from the real servers. Because WinFi was developed WinFi was developed and working while Nintendo Wi-Fi was still running.
Yeah.
So WinFi was sort of ready to go with sort of 2 weeks or whatever to spare before Nintendo Wi-Fi connection shut down. So that when Nintendo Wi-Fi connection shut down, there was already a fully working WinFi ready to go, which could just immediately replace it. So they had plenty of time to experiment with, what does the server do if the client says this? What does the server do if the client says that? And dumping hundreds of hours of racing as well to see what kind of messages
They also had
get
people
sent.
plumb their connections through a Wing's DNS, so he could analyse the connections from other people as well.
Yeah. There was a large dumping phase.
Yeah.
Was all the WC created before WinFi?
Simultaneously. It was created simultaneously. They were invited to join, help make WinFi instead, and they refused.
It's not a bad thing to have duplicated, redundancy.
I guess, but at the same time, it was just like, all of these efforts could have been consolidated into a much better project, rather than having 2 separate ones. They were just arrogant or whatever and just wanted their own or something like that and expected people to use it, but frankly, if you don't have the correct people talking about it, people aren't going to use it.
True. I don't know.
And so pretty much my declaring my loyalty to WinFi.
I wouldn't necessarily take a hostile tone.
Yeah.
I mean, it is as it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with, because if Wing drops dead tomorrow, then we have a problem.
We do have a problem.
So I don't think there's any.
Nice thing about Alt is that it's open source.
Yeah, I don't think there's any too much harm in the redundancy.
Yeah. One of these days. What WinFi had going for it was that it was very connected with the entire community, and that Yeah. Like, everybody knew what Wing-Fi was in Mario Kart, in the Mario Kart Wii community, and if they didn't, I made sure they knew about it, you know. Whereas Alt WFC was just this other thing that was kind of chilling around. Off in its own world. Invited to come help make a super server refused, you know. And stop that logic. No, I'll make sure that Wing-Fi is more popular. And did. Of course, it's not just me. There's a lot of people promoting Wing-Fi, but yeah. In the initial phase, I made sure to get out a very comprehensive tutorial on how to get it. I made sure that CGGP was automatically using it and stuff like that in order to keep traffic flowing to it at all times. And it held. It has held, and now other people can promote it. And yeah. Interesting, but Bombastic. I didn't know that Amazon did that.
Yep. It's very irritating.
Yeah.
The one that irritates me more, though, is the volume leveling.
Yeah.
Like, just level the volume of the, you know the volume of the advert, the average amplitude of the thing. Measure the average amplitude of the stream you're listening to.
Yeah.
Because yours is a quiet stream.
I know, and I can't, like...
yeah, fine, whatever, but what I'm saying
everything's maxed,
yours
I can't do anything.
Quiet
Yeah.
stream, and so I turn it up, and then an advert plays, it's like, blah! Oh my god, just... Jeez, no. Greetings, Bombastish! How are you able to see live assembly while playing the game? I've seen you have a split screen with changing assembly on one side.
That is the USB Gecko.
Yes.
It's an out-of-production piece of kit. It's very dubious in legality.
It's not.
Is it? I thought it was. Anyway.
There's nothing wrong with the USB Gecko. It's a cable.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
It's not a nut.
It's the purpose of the... I was strangle someone with it. Anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. No, there's nothing wrong with a cable. No, so the USB Gecko cable is a debugging cable somebody made, so it plugs into the
memory port.
The memory card slot B on the Wii, and USB on the other end. Well done. And people have written debugging software basically, so it's a two-part piece of software ultimately. On the one side, something is added to the game, which is looking for messages on the cable and is using the processor's own debugging features to, gain access to breakpoints and things like that, and register contents and so on. And then it transmits that down the cable to a waiting piece of software. We use gecko.net, so the gecko.net program talks to the little piece of resident software on the Wii, and we can use that to do things like, pause the running game, look at what line of code is running, make changes on the fly, step by step through the code, etc. What happens if USB Gecko suddenly crapped out? Well, fortunately, people have made clones these days. So there's the Shuriken USB, for example, I believe, which
Am I
is
inbounds? No.
basically the USB Gecko cable again. Alternatively, Dolphin has a very limited debugging capability. It's good in some ways, but I would say it's less featureful than the USB Geckos.
I think honestly we'd write a network debugger if push came to shove,
Yes, that's what I was about to say, yeah. I think at this point I would make another solution like TCP.
No buying cables, we'd just make it so it can communicate over the network instead.
Oh, no worries, Akraf, we can run CGP on Dolphin if we want to. No.
Yeah, no, we know our own security.
We know why it doesn't work.
CGP doesn't run on Dolphin because we actively try to stop it. Therefore,
well,
if we
there
turn
are
that
problems
off,
anyway.
That's true. Yeah, okay. Dolphin's not good, but yeah.
Yeah, but fundamentally, we could make it happen.
Wouldn't run particularly well, but it would run. Enough to do debugging stuff, at least.
Yeah.
So, in a crisis, but yeah.
But yes, as we say, network debugging would be a good solution, like TCP Gecko, indeed.
I'm not quite sure why Network made that a thing, but whatever.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe that should be our next gift to the community.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to do it realistically. I think it'd be very hard push to do it PowerPC side. Because, you know, you couldn't pause the game at that point. You need the iOS to keep. You need the iOS networking.
Yeah.
To keep running. So.
I mean, does the Gecko pause iOS? No, I don't think it does. So it would be running.
No, yeah. But think about it. So you press pause game or whatever. So all PowerPC code stops with Gecko, USB Gecko, except the little resident.
Bunch of code at the start of RAM.
At the start of RAM, yeah.
So why is there a problem with not having the networking version running as well?
Because you've got to be able to make iOS octals, whereas that one doesn't. It touches the serial registers directly from hardware.
So why can't we do iOS or iOctals with most of the threads paused?
Because the
Is there a callback?
Your thread is suspended and put into a queue, and there's
why?
Well, that's just how
They're
it works.
all paused.
But no, well, yeah, but.
Would be the only thing running. Why can't we do iOS iOctals?
I don't know whether. Well, it would depend if there's any spare. Because I know how it works. Basically, is there's a bunch of shared memory between the iOS and thing, and they're both looking at it. I don't know if it's all full. Because if it's all full, you can't just go changing things.
Yep.
I mean, maybe with a bit of save and restore, but it'd be bloody complicated. You'd have to re-implement the entire iOS iOctal and iOS Open and all that jazz. It would not be fun.
Legit.
Are hybrid applications written in C++? Generally, yes, or C. C or C++. And there are libraries for the Wii, yes. Most importantly, libogc provides all of the basic access to Wii hardware, so, you know, it allows you to draw to the screen and read from a Wii remote and so on. libogc is your basic library for accessing things. Because the really weird thing about the Wii's architecture is that there's no sort of OS in the conventional sense. There's no operating system. So when you want to access, you know, the keyboard on an operating system like a normal one or a mouse, you just ask the operating system. You say, operating system, give me the key from the keyboard or the input from the mouse. On the Wii, it's kind of a bit different. It has the iOS, which kind of to some extent does that, but basically the games are running pretty much bare metal. So there is no threading
Mario Kart is
there is no there is no, like, they're all like, if you want to have something, you've got to have a driver for it. Like, you've got to have a driver for communicating with Wiimotes. Like, so games contain a full Bluetooth driver in order to talk to the Wii remotes, which is, well, not a full Bluetooth driver. Like, most of the Bluetooth drivers talk to the Wii remotes, which is absurd, but that's the way it works. Whereas on a computer, the Bluetooth driver will be part of the operating system, and the application will just say, get me the data from the Wii remote, please. Yeah, exactly, Zakharov. So every game that wants to support the GameCube controllers has to include the GameCube controller driver. Simple as that, which is dumb, as is all dumb, but that's the way it works. Any game that wants to access the SD card has to include an SD card driver. So one of the things that CTGP does is adds an SD card driver to Mario Kart Wii, because it doesn't have one. So we have to have our own implementation of SD card drivers. The advantage of this is it allows absurd efficiency. I mean, remember, Wii is the last of the good old days of consoles, essentially, whereby, you know, this was how they were all done. This is how they all used to work. Is that the games essentially run bare metal, and the reason why they do is efficiency. You know, running an operating system is inefficient. Like, why do you need to run an operating system when all your system is doing is playing one game? You don't. It's a waste of resources. So they don't run an operating system, which means that the games can optimize to not have one if they don't need it. You know, they don't need to have a GameCube controller driver, so they don't have one. It's not running. There's no need. It's a waste of resources. Whereas, you know, modern consoles, basically the trade-off is, well, they're so powerful that who cares? You know, so they do waste time supporting a bunch of stuff the game will never use because there's so much time to waste that who cares? Yeah, exactly right, Zakharov. So the USB GCM thing, we need to implement a USB driver that can talk to the GameCube controllers, and then what we do for our one is then we intercept the game's attempts to talk to its own GameCube controller driver and redirect them to our USB GameCube controller driver. That's what we do.
Which for some reason is broken.
But for some reason that causes memory corruption, so what can you say, you know?
Well, I think I do like the working theory of the corruption of item rain, frankly. It could well be the same thing.
Yeah, stacks.
That was introduced
Stack
by Stack. By the Stack randomly being garbage.
Hooray! The robot has arrived!
Yeah!
With instructions and a smiley face. You do Empire, but that's why LibOGC is so useful, because it's got them all. So LibOGC is your one-stop shop. It's a really good library, and it contains most all. It actually doesn't contain Wiimote. Yeah, there's a separate library. You need L, BT, and Wii U's, I think. But anyway, basically, yes, like all those libraries are written, so you just import the libraries and off you pop. Which is what they would have done on their side as well. Like not every developer wrote a fresh. They just imported the standard Nintendo ones. But what I'm saying is, if you don't import it into your application, it doesn't exist. Like there's no way to get it by default. Whereas on a computer, you'd have it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zakharov, don't worry. Like I know what I'm doing. Like yes, Nintendo have it without, but like we don't.
Do they actually?
Yeah. But like that's not the point. Like the point is that
no, do they actually?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But it's not
on this game.
No, Nintendo is a GameCube game emulator. Like what? That doesn't even make sense. The question doesn't make sense. No, Nintendo don't have a working driver. That's not the question. Like, I know how to write a working driver. That's not. I do know what I'm doing. Like for some reason, the implementation inside of Mario Kart causes game corruption, and I don't know what. It might be something to do with Mario Kart. It might be a bug in Mario Kart that we've exposed by this. That's very possible. But like, I know how to write
exposed a bunch of crap.
Yeah, exactly. Item Rain exposed bugs in Mario Kart that were nothing to do with Item Rain, effectively. And our theory is it's the same thing. So, but like, I don't like the driver is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong. And maybe I made some terrible mistake, but like as far as I'm concerned, the driver is fine.
Yeah, a little bit weird.
Is the Wii's GameCube channel intro on the actual system? What you mean the? Yeah, it must be.
So,
yeah, it must be.
Can't be on the desk.
Because the GameCube disc didn't know that the Wii was going to exist, so they didn't know that they needed a Wii banner. So it's got to be part of the system.
Yeah.
They couldn't have predicted when they made GameCube games that they would need a Wii banner in the future.
They do have a GameCube banner though.
Yeah.
They're specialised to the GameCube, of course. It wouldn't animate.
Just like the Wii banner is specialised to the Wii.
Yeah.
It doesn't get used on anything else.
No, I don't think it's even using Wii Virtual Console, is it?
But yeah, the GCN corruption, Zakharov, is either a bug, a straightforward, oh, I made a mistake, whoops, silly me. But I don't think so, because I've had a look and it looks good.
It wasn't about for quite some time.
It's not that big of a code and it's not that complicated. Like, I can't see that I made... Maybe I have, I don't want to dismiss, I'm not perfect, but it just doesn't seem that's the case to me. So like I say, the more likely scenario is it could be a bug in the game that's caused by accident, which, like I say, our experience with Item Rain has sort of given us more hope that might be true, because Item Rain,
you know how weird glitchy triangles could take over the screen?
That wasn't our fault. As bizarre as that sounds, the glitchy triangles in Item Rain were a genuine bug in
Mario Kart that never triggers.
Kart, but it just never happened.
Just the presence
by
of
sheer
Item
coincidence.
Rain was enough to trigger this bug.
By sheer coincidence.
And you might ask, how is that possible? It's just because the game's doing a little bit more. Just think about some other things. And because of that, the stack where it remembers things between methods is slightly different.
Yeah. Basically what happened is standard mistake you can make in C. So in C, you can write int x semicolon, okay? What does that do? Well, it says there is a variable called x and it's an integer, but it doesn't say what its value is. If you use that, according to the C language manual, that is undefined behaviour and the computer will explode spontaneously, what actually happens? Well, it just uses the last value that happened to be wherever the compiler says x is. And this is exactly the mistake Nintendo made. In their logic for items hitting items, they have an uninitialized momentum variable, which they do not initialize. So it just uses, this is a mistake on their part. So what it does is it just uses the last value that was stored at that location in memory. And coincidentally, in the normal
all of the
game,
time,
that's always 0 or a very, very small number. So it doesn't cause any problems. In item range, just coincidentally, based on the code we wrote,
put some of our addresses there.
it puts a different variable there, which is a very large number. And so when it comes to consider this momentum number that it hasn't actually set up, it gets our very, very large number that we left over, and it uses that in its calculations, which is totally, that's their bug. That's like legitimately 100% their bug. But that's why
not our fault.
that's why the glitchy triangles occur, because it then thinks there's very high velocity items flying around the map.
Because they're an uninitialized variable bug.
So literally,
Triggered
in their
by
code
item
somewhere, they've written, float X, float Y, float Z, but they've not set them to 0.
Equals 0, equals 0, equals 0 is what they needed to do.
And in C, that means they have whatever value, magic value left over. And like I say, in the normal game, coincidentally, that's always a small number. And in our code, coincidentally, it can be a large number.
Because we've been manipulating the item system, we've been called, we've been doing some things, the stack is slightly different, so the variable data is different. It's legit not our problem. Just like the Thwomp Crash bug is not our problem. That was also
What was the first language you all learned, and what languages do you know? The first... I'm assuming you're still referring to programming languages. The first programming language I learned was Visual Basic. And nowadays I know a lot.
Legit. I'm going to take a marine shell to the face fairly soon. No. Never mind, he threw it through me. Took all the O's for license and then got shocked. Dang. Welcome to the room, Governor.
Well, for the items in the moving side, yes, what the value that gets used is a very large horizontal momentum.
And so it flies off to negative infinity or whatever.
Yeah,
fairly quickly.
What really goes wrong there is the graphics card then tries to render that. And the poor graphics card doesn't really know how to draw a banana at infinity. And gets jolly confused.
And it causes permanent damage until the card is reset by means of changing level or whatever, Well, we have cleared up all the all dodgy items before and not had the game come back to normal, so,
Well, it's not the graphics card gets in it, it's just the... it's not the graphics card gets in a weird... it doesn't affect the graphics card per se. It just the implications on other calculations, when items interact with each other and so on. When one of them's at infinity, it messes them all up.
What is my disc not working? How do you mean?
He said he's had trouble with his disc working, but we'll try some other time. That is unfortunate.
Yes. Clean it up.
You could always get a new disc.
Clean it up, replace it, yeah.
Does the game have an item draw distance? Yeah, I don't know actually.
It does. Yeah, despite that.
Yeah.
You'll still try to draw them anyway. See it quite obviously in Canada with red shells, which vanish on the horizon.
Hey, I'm going to Lincoln tonight. Oh, awesome.
Nice.
What are you doing in Lincoln? What are you doing in Lincoln? That was meant in a friendly fashion.
Yes, absolutely.
Conversational.
Oh god, if only I'd angled myself slightly better.
University Open Day, well.
Yes.
Oh,
the most prestigious university, this one.
Hey, he's going up the rankings.
Hey, that's good. But yes, yes. What were we talking about? I feel like I had someone to contribute.
We've been talking a lot about programming to Empire.
Yes, that's true.
And anyone else who's listening.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, we're hoping that a similar bug is taking place with the USB GCN, that the fact that the USB GCN is being called is rearranging the stack in such a manner that we've gotten another uninitialized variable bug. Yeah. At which point we can fix the game fairly easily.
I mean, actually, the item momentum one is a pair of uninitialized variables. So we fixed the second one much earlier, remember, which is that the momentum of items was just carried over into the newly created items.
Yes. Didn't assumed everyone was set up somewhere else. Yeah. Got 2 spots for interested parties. So the Wii, your Wii is slightly broken, Kraken. You could replace the disc drive in it. That's not too hard to do.
It's quite hard. Depends on how technically minded you are.
Yeah.
Or you get a new Wii and then go through the process of installing Letterbomb again.
Yeah. Look out, it's Mushroom Peaks. They didn't make Wii's in 2005, so you probably mean 2006.
Lincoln Muni's good. I mean, like I say, it's rapidly gone up the rank. It used to be quite low down the rankings, but it has improved quite considerably. Alternatively, you've got a Wii U cracker, and then you can get CCP on the Wii U as well.
It's more complicated.
Yes, it is.
There'll be more steps.
Yes, that's true. But it is possible.
Confused over.
I'm just offering the option.
He's close to me. There he is.
But yeah, I mean, actually,
Look,
the city, I mean, in terms of University of Lincoln, the city of Lincoln has actually expanded quite rapidly due to the university. I mean, Lincoln didn't really have much going for it prior to the sort of emergence of the university. It was kind of a sleepy backwater with nothing happening. But the university has actually grown considerably. Did you update the guy on chat sub? Yes! Mr. Bean did.
It is somewhat different to before. See, banana, that was the idea. Oh my god, swaying up a hill. Yeah. I just hit the guy in last place or something. I don't know actually. I wasn't paying much attention. We're in shrubbery range. And we're Delta dead.
Rip.
Stupid. Insert idiot here. It's really not helpful. That's an interesting spot to get blued. I'll take this. Oh no! Please spawn up top. Goody goody.
9993!
Good. Why do people have Wii U's without gamepads anyway?
Maybe because they bought them from Bean's crappy second-hand store.
Yeah. Well, they need the gamepad to actually do the boot, so if anyone's buying that and wants it to just be compatible out of the box with Wii remotes and no gamepad, I'll have to get it through its initial boot phase. And then they must never format it, because it will get stuck. And birds know what's up, dude.
They do.
We have a spot.
Stop with the chair, it hurts my head.
What chair? You? You're on a chair and it's kind of noisy.
Confuzzled.
Oh.
Squeaking.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it does
that's
occasionally
easy, yeah.
squeak, yeah. I will try to avoid making it squeak.
I always put you on the sofa.
Yeah, but then they can't read the chat. We have this problem.
You must get a chat up on a phone. It's kind of like a thing.
It's irritating.
God, no! No, no!
Welcome back, Farian J.
Can I make it? This is not avoiding a red shell. This is merely prolonging the inevitable. Here we go. Freedom.
It is inevitable, Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Oh. Couldn't pull a wheelie because of that. Fortunately, you don't need that one. Can I get more traps, please? Game says no. Damn it. Just as there's house coming in to make sure that life is tragic, you know. Yep, don't need wheelies. Oh wait, there's a downhill. Much more obvious to put it on that one.
You mean much less obvious?
No, much more obvious is strats. I realised I didn't say this and therefore I think I scared him off. I think he saw my bananas was like, I must avoid and leapt off the course.
You'll never take me alive!
Evidently. How did I dodge that? I didn't even get hit by it at all.
Curiouser and curiouser.
What were all there?
Being hacker confirmed.
I would not have chosen to hack in such a stupid manner. That almost screwed me up.
That is what normally happens to hackers.
Oh god! Blech! And that's where I stop. Travelling to itemite -2. Here I go! Speed increases. Down I go. The respawn not very good. Ah! Oh! Stop copying me! It's like looking in the mirror.
Oh, really, you're copying him.
Yeah. No, I did it first.
Yeah, but
So?
you're behind.
I don't care. I did it first. I do not know Daz. Ask the author. Actually, Farron, looks like you've got slots 11, not 12. Most people do not know where to go on this track, which is a very confusing track. Oh. Getting hungry.
Hungry?
Hungry. Oh god.
That's what Bean does, Farian, yeah.
I do like blinking item box priority. It is a fairly big thing while scrolling.
Maybe you should scrum less if you've got low box priority.
It is a strat actually. You turn out the scrums mean that other people also can't scrum, you know. I have no intention of scrumming here. I'm just gonna go. This is a nonsense track and we shouldn't be playing it. practically nothing good about this for countdown.
Picked up all track, permanent ban from week 5.
Some people will go for that kind of thing, but nah. Oh my god, bye. I think the actual answer to that was to pull on the brakes, but never mind. My brain did not move that fast, so... Kablamo! Excuse me. Yeah. Huh? Good. It's root. Oh. Bye.
Sounds keep getting higher pitch.
Yes, they do. Yes, they get higher
I'm just
pitch.
noticing that I was getting ridiculous.
Yeah. You're not meant to be able to chain that many mushrooms after all.
There's no cap in there, though.
I don't know if there's a cap. There is, I probably haven't heard it. Oops. Oh, bollocks.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, very. Just enjoying himself. Really? I don't know where you got that, but... Oh! There!
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, it is still second.
Or is it?
Depends where that respawns, I guess. No, nothing can do that. Oh dear. Kazuki's here, doesn't care about gaining any extra positions. Or about Sarai, I guess. Has one goal, and one goal only, and that's to look at me.
Ah, slot priority wins again. But just think, Fair and Jay, if you go down Rainbow Road, you're the only one that can do the glitch.
This is the point where the match is supposed to end.
Curiouser and curiouser.
And based on
Oh no.
the amount of points,
Wait, no, that was just the. That was Junior just gained a position.
they're rolling backwards down a hill.
Yeah, but they hit a boost panel, I think.
Ah,
Because they gained a position.
and that's me. I had too few points to stay in the room. Because we disconnected all of our finishes, so...
Well, what happened there?
Sometimes that happens.
Many a person DC'd.
Many entered, few remain.
'Twas most unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm just going to search, see where I end up.
Tactical.
Okay, Luigi. Let's go.
Okay, Snakes, good luck with your exam studying.
See ya.
And indeed your exams.
I have found something. I found this room. Where I am slot 4.
Brace yourselves, countdowners. You have been joined.
GGTO. That eye chases me immediately. Not bad to have. We'll sit a second not looking at me.
Don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep.
Please wait a moment.
And I don't wanna miss a thing.
The illusion is broken. It's
Oh,
reversed from the back.
No, G-ray level physics. Bad variant. Down. Sit. Stay.
We are entering the room. Let us proceed. It's a fresh room, actually. Oh, bollocks. Sarai rejoins immediately.
Well, yes, Ferian, in principle. You could detect like which parts of the SNS file had changed and say like it has to be them, but like the trouble is, you know, where does the line cross? You know, if somebody's done KMP edits outside the range of the track, for example, that's a common thing that gets done in texture hacks. But that's wrong. You know, that should be banned and illegal and terrible because that's a KMP edits. Or, you know,
No,
if someone's
that
done
really should, no matter what.
KCL edits to remove a sound trigger, like, is that an okay texture hack or no? So, like, you could just say, well, okay, every byte in the file has to be the same except for texture files. But that would catch things that are quote-unquote texture hacks. And, like, what if someone's put, you know, info.txt in the texture hack, which contains... Or what if their SNS tool has changed the alignment of some files or something? You know, it's... The moral question of is something a texture hack is not necessarily easy to determine by technical means.
A low-scoring match is unfolding. I'm trying to check pinballs don't get destroyed by bumpers. They bounce off them. A little late on these, which I would have liked a while ago. I have one more point than this guy. That's not actually enough to overtake him, however.
Barely.
Yes, but that's all it takes.
All it takes is a strong breeze
Yep.
to blow you into first.
Yeah, but not. But it didn't come.
I don't want the pinball bowling you both over or something.
Yeah. I mean, even that wouldn't really have done much.
Do you have interest in modding MK8D?
No. It's a bad game. Only mod games that I enjoy. Shipwreck.
Wario.
Yes.
Yeah, it's impossible to do that, Scruffy. One thing I would like to do in the ultimate wish list of CQP would be WBZ support natively.
Yeah.
So you could just put a WBZ in my stuff and it would just take care of the rest.
That'd be nice.
Like, we have the files in this, we can get them. We can fix it up into an SLS.
Oh god. Well, okay. So far, I am not scoring an awful large amount. Ooh. Meet me.
I mean, the whole point of the WBZ format is it doesn't contain any copyrighted stuff, so it's a nice distribution format, but then it's kind of awkward to then actually use in anything. And so people end up doing the poverty solution of getting one person to DWBZ it and then distribute it around, which then precisely defeats the point.
Yeah. Ah, so you got those.
The whole point is everybody should DWBZ it themselves.
Yeah. I can't hit anyone with traps. That's okay. I find this makes an interesting countdown track anyway. So, the less points I have, the sooner I don't have to play it. Oh dear, I scored. Gotta keep playing. This is on harsh down though.
That is actually, you're going at quite a click. 6 apparently.
Not Luigi's getting a lot of extra time. Stopped me from running backwards, and then prevented me from reaching the boost panel. You greedy Gus.
I
And
think
now
they'll
I'm
make a
over here.
paid extension to HP. No.
I mean, what would that even involve?
No. We're not doing paid extensions. It's so legally dubious as to I believe.
Legit.
It beats the spirit anyway.
Pay by donation.
WBZ files are a format introduced by Weem that transmits, creates a file that contains the information for a custom track, but not the information that would normally be part of Mario Kart Wii. So, for example, every track in the game includes the item box model, for example, which is pointless, one, because, I mean, they're all the same, but two, it means that if you distribute a track file, even if you changed everything else, if it includes an item box, that means you're including Nintendo's item box in your track, which is then legally dubious because that's their copyrighted information. You've got no rights to distribute the Nintendo item box file. So the WBZ format is a distribution format for custom tracks that contains the custom stuff, but not the sort of standard stuff, like item boxes.
And it grabs those from real files.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And like every track that includes the Wiggler will include the Wiggler model, and every track that includes the Pokies will include the Pokey model. Like that's how Mario Kart Wii is designed. Like, they all include the models directly in the track files. But that means if you just copy and paste the track file, you're including all that stuff. Which, like I said, you've got no legal right to distribute.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh well. See what I can do. Good.
But because the WBZ format is one invented by Wii, the game doesn't understand it by default. So you have to convert them back into the games files, which are SLS files. Which you do by getting a game disk and running Wii's tool with your game disk and the WBZ file, basically, and it takes the files it needs from the game disk to make up the track file. Yeah, exactly, Zachary. C2B's channel reads the game disk to get the files in question. The Nintendo files. We just send the differences, much like WBZ, but we do it very differently. But essentially the same principle. WBZ is much more aware of the contents of the file. Like it knows it's an SLS file, whereas our mechanism doesn't. Like it's just
data
blanks,
matcher, yeah.
So it works even for stuff that's not within SLS files.
Throw all these bananas at them. You might go through them perfectly. No hit.
Yeah, of course, Zachary. You can't just nick Nintendo's assets for stuff. Like, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, copyright law allowed you to do it for personal use, but not for, distribution purposes. So we can't nick any
Shove me this
Nintendo
way, yeah,
assets.
thank you. Oh, don't bug on me. Look who's here. I'm making progress thanks to him slightly. I'm not going to completely lose though, it would seem. Yeah, keep it going. That's the way. I need to be this way, yeah.
Permanent ban from Wii Probably the disruptive play.
Apparently that's a head. I don't quite understand personally, but okay.
Strange. But the thing about copyright law in particular, I mean, if you want to lecture on intellectual property, then by all means. But the thing about copyright law specifically is it is literally you're forbidden to copy directly a implementation of anything. So an implementation of a picture, an implementation of text in Word, you can't copy it. But if you generate a new one which is similar, that's fine. It's not about the idea, it's about copying.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you read a book and then just wrote like your own version of the book from scratch, like that's not copying per se. But if you include text directly, like you type the exact same thing, that's copying. So it's not about the idea, it's about it's fine to make a Mii renderer which looks correct, but it would not be okay to use their actual genuine ones. But you also can't you can't copyright also means you can't take their one and distort it and then that's yours. No, that's not how it works. You have to generate a new one. So, if you look at a Mii and go, okay, I can draw Mii's, and then you draw an oval, which is about the same size and shape and everything as the Mii's face, and then fill it in correctly, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the law makes a lot of sense, because it's trying to... Because if that law didn't exist, then, an author could write a book and somebody could literally copy and paste it and sell it, and be like, that's my book, because I copy and pasted it and put a new front cover on. But you can't, because you can't copy and paste. But I mean, it applies across the board, of course, so... like I say, custom track authors can't copy and paste the item box from Nintendo's tracks and then send them around online, because that's copying and pasting Nintendo's item box.
join the fray. Alright. Damn it. But like, hey, there might be an 8th point there. There wasn't.
If Mario Kart was real life, how to get out of the circuit? Well, I mean, there are lots of like cone barriers and like barriers that don't look like they would be permanent to habitation on this strange island. So, I would imagine they could lower the barrier somewhere or other.
Wow.
But I don't think Nintendo considers that too carefully when they're designing custom tracks.
No.
Oh, sorry, the tracks.
There's quite clearly more stuff going that way, and there's no way to access any of that, so... Bollocks. Not the idea. Shit sticks. Oh, God.
But like these barriers at the side of the road, to me, to my eye, don't look like permanent road barriers. Like, they look like they could be retrieved.
Question is what that would do for you.
Well, I mean, if we're talking the practicalities of Daisy Circuit.
Shit. Alright.
I think intellectual property laws, to answer Varian's question about how fuzzy is the law, I think intellectual property laws are fairly clear. Like, I don't think there's certainly something. I mean, so much of things is like, has it ever gone to a case? Because, like, you know, it's like different people's reading of it. Because like, one of the things with copyright is a transformative work. So, if something is included as part of a transformative work, it loses its copyright status. And then, what counts as a transformative work? So, like, a parody of a song, I think, does count as transformative, curiously.
Nice.
So that's one of the weird things about copyright law, is that you can do something which transforms it into a new work, which then does not have the copyright of the old one. Did you be a parody of Mario Kart Wii? No.
CGGP is what we call an S.
Well, it's an extension. Strictly speaking, what we supply is a bunch of extra stuff. So we don't supply you with Mario Kart Wii. I mean, that's critical to our operation, is that we don't supply you with Mario Kart Wii at any point. You have Mario Kart Wii, which you have from Nintendo, and we don't give you any of it. We give you something that works with Mario Kart Wii on the same system. Which is nothing to do with copyright. That doesn't, like, we're not giving you their stuff. It's not, there's no copyright issue there. You have the disc, which we use as part of our tool, but I suppose one area of copyright that does get slightly murky is like the supply of tools that circumvent copyright. So,
yes.
You know, like the DVD decryption library is the classic example. So DVDs are encrypted, and some dudes, of course, worked out how that encryption works and publish libraries which decrypt DVDs. And so then the question becomes, is that a tool that is designed for illegal distribution of DVDs and circumvention of their copyright protection and so on, or is that a tool for playing DVDs? And it's a really awkward, like, is that illegal or not? Like, that's a very much like and the truth is, it depends on how the user uses it, right? Because the DVD decryption library could easily be used to create fake DVDs, but it could also be used to just play back DVDs on a computer.
Just like a knife can be used to stab someone or put cheese.
Exactly. So is it a weapon? You know, that's the question, and that's why it's a grey area, that one. Yeah, so the way... Well, it's not... Yeah, that's the thing the Not So Amazing does. That's exactly the point. So Linux, for example, and most Linux distributions take the standpoint that they will not include the DVD decryption library because they are scared that including it will brand their entire OS as illegal. Okay? So what they do instead is they don't include it, but they allow you to install it yourself. Which doesn't make it any more or less illegal, but what they're doing is they're exporting that to you. Because then if you install it and it turns out that is considered illegal, it's your fault. And so really, they're not actually... It's not a question of whether it's illegal or not, it's just who's got the blame if it is. Because it's unclear whether it's illegal or not. And so, rather than risking their own necks, what they're saying is, we're not going to risk our own necks by bundling the DVD decryption library. We will make the users download it themselves, and if they choose to do that, then it's their pigeon if it's an illegal library. We've not distributed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, it's not that it's illegal to bundle it, it's that they don't want responsibility in case it is illegal. Because the other thing about law, of course, is it varies by country. So while it may be legal or illegal to do something in one country, it may not be in another country. And if you're distributing it around the world, you don't know where it's going to be downloaded.
Yeah.
So that's them hedging their
Various
bets.
countries holding you to account for things.
Yeah. So that's them hedging their bets by not bundling the DVD libraries. Yeah, so the people who made the DVD encryption library for Linux, well, it's not for Linux specifically, but yeah, those people have risked it, and anyone who downloads it are risking it. But the point is, like I say, the people who make various Linux distributions don't want to get into that mess, so they don't include it, because then it's not... They've sort of limited accountability for themselves. So the only people who would be held responsible for anything are the people who create it, yes, and the people who download it. Mm-hmm. That's the two people that are at risk.
Yes.
But I mean, YouTube and all the copyright issues on YouTube, you get confused between what's the law and what's Google's policy. Because a lot of what goes on YouTube is just Google's policy. You know, at no point does anything legal happen unless you actually sue each other.
Yeah.
And so really what's happening on YouTube is a lot of posturing. And, you know, it's a lot of...
Wag.
You know, Nintendo complaining to Google saying blah, 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 they've stolen this. And YouTubers complaining to Google saying blah, 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 no, we haven't. And really nothing legal is happening there unless you actually sue each other.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's one of these things of trying to keep themselves out of it. Google don't want to be held accountable. So, if Google just ignored Nintendo, then Google would be at fault. So if Nintendo says this video is a breach of our copyright, take it down. If Google says no, we're not going to, what Google is saying is, you know, we are hosting this material on our site and we are distributing it to the public, and therefore, if it is illegal, if the author genuinely has uploaded something illegal, Google will be as culpable as the original author. Because they have hosted and distributed the file. So what they do defensively is take it down, but then have a weird appeals process. But none of that appeals process is anything to do with the law.
Until it reaches a...
Until you actually go to blows, yeah. It's just Google trying to be squeaky clean and not get told off. Because, like I say, if they knowingly host something which is illegal, that's their problem. You know, it would be a breach for YouTube to knowingly host something which was illegal. So their whole appeals and takedown process is them trying to protect themselves. It's not really trying to protect anyone else. But obviously the trouble is people started trolling with this and getting people to take down videos which were nothing to do with them. So That's why they've got their whole process of, you know, the author can say it's not illegal, blah, 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 and it's all very confusing. That whole process is them trying to catch, you know, people trolling with saying that a video is illegal, but also trying to do the correct thing in case it really is genuinely someone saying that the video is illegal.
You can't score. I refuse.
Because, like I say, at the end of the day, Google would be liable if Google knowingly hosted an illegal video. So they've just done that whole appeals process and takedown process and whatever to try and cover themselves more than anything, but also not make YouTube completely unusable. But it certainly means Google are not willing to fight your corner. You know, so if you reckon something's okay, they're not going to risk it. Like, they want black and white. It is totally okay, or we're not sure. And if they're not sure, they'll take it down, because they're not interested in not sure.
All according to plan.
Because one thing that has never been tested in court is playing a game on and then recording that and uploading a video of that, is that a breach of copyright? Which is a difficult question, because as I said, copyright specifically is about copying something without changing it. That's what copyright is about. It's about taking something like, copying and pasting a novel and putting it online. Or, copying a movie, taking scenes out of the movie and putting them on YouTube. That's copyright. Like, reenacting the scenes for yourself would not be copyright. That's nothing to do with that. Like, if me and Bean now acted out the Lion King's opening and uploaded it to YouTube, that would not be anything to do with copyright. Unless we use the exact script, in which case we would have copied the words, and that would be copyright, you see. So, it's whether you take a verbatim copy or not. But if we, from our vague recollection of memory, went through the basic motions of the Lion King without, using their exact wording or whatever, that's nothing to do with copyright then. That's our thing, is not copyright. So copyright is when you copy something totally without changing it. So then the question is gameplay footage copyrighted? Is playing a game taking something without modifying it and uploading it? Well, kind of, but kind of not.
Cutscenes are
cutscenes definitely,
yeah.
Not going to argue, and the game soundtrack,
Definitely.
not going to argue. But then what about the actual gameplay? I mean, don't know. Is Mario moving through the world? I mean, it's their assets, I suppose, but then it's your perspective on it. Like, but it's never been tested in court. So at the end of the day, we don't know.
And it's going to be interesting when it finally does get tried in court. Maybe we can finally show Nintendo up, yeah.
So that's the interesting one. Is gameplay footage copyrighted? And sort of Twitch has kind of gambled on the fact that it's not. Essentially, Twitch's whole raison d'etre would be somewhat limited if that was false. Yeah. Whereas YouTube have much more gone down the lines of, whatever, it probably is.
But I mean, also, it's becoming more and more acceptable for things like Twitch to exist, with companies like Nintendo supporting their existence.
And a lot of things come down to this kind of de facto. So, with the law, often when the law is not entirely clear on things, they do take the kind of de facto what's been happening then. And if we go with that, well, Twitch has been existing and most companies seem chill with it, So, is that sufficient evidence that it's okay in the eyes of the people,
Really? I'm not in the scrum? Really? Not top priority, let's get out. I just wanted the box for the road, actually. I was always intending to really leave, but... No.
No, I don't think anywhere is it's a lease per... I think lease has a very specific legal meaning. It's not a lease when you buy a game. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't think anywhere is it a lease according to the legal definition of what a lease is. Like, it's the same as a DVD. When you buy a DVD, that doesn't mean you have distribution rights to the film. It means you have the right to play the film in your house.
Yeah.
It's the same with a game. When you buy a game, you have the right to play the game in your house. You own the disc. You can eat the disc. It's not a lease in that sense. You can do whatever you like to the disc.
And will. You won't stop me.
And certainly everyone agrees that that gives you the right to play the game in your house. Whether that gives you the right to copy and paste the game online, well, almost certainly not. Does it give you the right to make videos about the game and put them online? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You know, definitely we'd all agree that if you just put the game's cutscenes online, that would be a problem. Because again, that's just straight copyright. You're nicking their thing. But yeah, you know, buying a song on iTunes, buying or on a disc, you know, buying a DVD, whatever, you don't get distribution rights, you just get the right to play it. It's the same with a game. But you do own it in some sense of the word.
And then that challenge is possible on other tracks. It's just super difficult.
Well, answer that one. Have you ever seen it done on any other tracks?
Yes.
Which ones?
GTR Ancient Lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it done anywhere else. But I know it's possible on other ones too.
Yeah. You just need to start to align.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, on the flip side, Celery, you can say, well, you know, it doesn't matter about the open world nature of it. You're always going to be using their assets. You know, like, I don't know, Minecraft will always use the same blocky texture of a piece of grass and a rock, you know. So any generated world will include that. Ownership in terms of buying something digitally or physically, it's kind of no different. I mean, you know, you get the same sort of rights from the digital ownership as you do from the physical ownership. Like, you get the right to play it, but not to distribute it. You know, and that kind of came about as a result of, you know, at one simple level, books. You know, when back in the good old days when people used to buy books, you know, before the internet even existed. You know, you buy a book that doesn't give you the right to, you know, copy the book to every, you know, you can't then, you know, copy out every word of the book and sell that. You don't have that right just because you bought the book, but you certainly have the right to read the book, to give the book to your friend for them to read. You know, you do get all those rights when you buy a book, and ultimately that's where all the copyright law kind of comes from, is the days of buying books. And like, interestingly, if you buy a book, you don't necessarily get rights to perform it. You know, like, you don't necessarily get rights to, if it's a play, to go and play that to an audience. Because theatres have to get different licenses if they want to. They can't just buy a copy of a play and then perform it in a theatre. That's not okay. They have to get proper right to performance. And so equally, you wouldn't necessarily be able to buy a book and then go and read it to a mass public audience. I guess, again, that would be right to performance. You don't have the right to perform the book.
Yep.
Just in the same way that if you buy a DVD, you haven't got the right to just display it to all of your neighbours. But within a limited scope, because you do have the right to lend it to a friend or whatever. Like, it's kind of dubious. When does it become a public audience? Yeah, the Lord Scruffy, that is one thing about digital purchases, is the right of sort of re-ownership if you delete it, if you lose it. I mean, yeah, you kind of don't have a right to anything. You get the right to the downloads that you're provided. It's whatever the provider sells you. So if Nintendo give you the right to infinite downloads, then great. If Nintendo don't, then, you know, that's your pigeon. Like, you know, that's not part of the law. You know, you don't get a magical right to infinite downloads. You get whatever the provider gives you. So if you download a song from iTunes and iTunes says you're allowed to download it 3 times, well, that's that. You know, like, that's what you bought. You bought the right to download it 3 times.
What about services going missing, like the Wii Shop channel?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you partly buy into their service keeping going. Like, you don't have any magical, unless they've entered into some formal contract with you, which they have to provide you with a service, in which case, you know, you can sue them for breach of contract. But you'd have to see exactly how they word it. They probably say we have the right to terminate this service at any time in our discretion, because most people do say that.
Yeah, unless they didn't.
But yeah, I mean, you could arguably sue them for breach of contract if it wasn't clear that they could end the service and they failed to provide you with a download you were due, for example.
Oh. Yeah.
You have the right, with digital purchases, you have the rights to exactly and only what they give you, right? I mean, you have the rights to, if they give you the right to download it infinitely many times, you have that right. If they give you the right, If they give themselves the right to terminate the service,
yeah.
then that's their pitch. If they give you, if they give themselves the right to terminate your access to the product, that's theirs as well. And that's in the case of like DRM. So, if you have to download an encryption key every time you want to watch a film, let's say, and their service goes down, and therefore you can't get those keys anymore, that may well be that isn't against the law for them to make that part of the rights. It isn't against the law for them to say, you have access to this film for as long as we continue to provide the services to access it. Which is the old iTunes model before they started doing DRM free stuff.
My shells actually do something constructive for once in their lives.
Is anyone going to try to replicate the Wii Shop channel? I mean...
That would be very dubious.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Do you mean sell Nintendo's products on their behalf? No, that would be highly illegal unless they had endorsement from Nintendo. Do you mean provide them for free? No, that would be highly illegal unless they had an endorsement from Nintendo. Do you mean sell other stuff? I mean, that's kind of the homebrew channel, but without the selling part. Like...
There's one service that we're probably never going to be able to replicate for any reason.
Yeah, like, I don't know what you mean by that. Like...
Keep it going.
I mean, fundamentally, there's no reason why I can't sell you something for the Wii. Like, fundamentally, like, so I could set up a Wii shop where you buy the old Chadder's products from the Wii shop, but
the old Chadder's products.
I couldn't sell Nintendo stuff to you.
No.
I wouldn't be allowed to host Nintendo's free-to-download things because that's not part of the rights they gave me. Just because they give me it as a free-to-download doesn't mean it's shareware. It doesn't mean I can. A shareware license is one where you're allowed to not only download it, but also transfer it to other people. I don't think Nintendo have that kind of license. They might have a freeware license where it's okay to freely download it, but not a shareware one where it's okay to share and download your, So if it's published under a shareware license, then yes, it's legal for me to share it with you. Has everything on the Wii Shop channel been archived, do you know?
Probably.
Maybe, probably.
Because it's very unlikely that they won't have done.
Yeah. But I mean, like I say,
would have done some won't have done.
It wouldn't be legal for anyone to share such a collection with anyone else. I mean, I'm sure they've got an archive of it all, right? I'm sure they didn't delete it. But, like, if, let's say I've got all of the Wii Shop titles on my system, that doesn't give me the right to give anyone else them. So it doesn't really help the public at large. No, because if you look at their terms of service, you will have bought Wii Shop points.
Stop it not working. Yeah.
So you own Wii Shop points. You don't own cash. You think you own cash. You think you own, $5 or whatever it is worth of cash. You don't. You own 500 Wii Shop points. And if the Wii Shop is no longer able to, spend those points, that's your problem. But you no longer own that. You think of it as cash, but they've been very clever to not be cash. So what you bought is you bought something that's not cash, and so they can take that away from you, and that's your problem, not theirs.
Yeah, sweet points. Don't use that model anymore. You just pay outright for things rather than messing around with the point system.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment it's not possible to add new Wii points, but it's possible to spend what you already have.
Interesting.
Which means for people who've got like 200 or whatever, you should have luck because it's nothing that cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the motivation for the point system is forcing people to overspend.
Yeah. Especially on Wii, where you didn't actually have the option to buy exactly what you needed.
Yeah, it's a good marketing technique, and it's used by many a system.
Yeah.
Indeed, this track was updated. Yes. Very lovely.
Yes. After dodging all my shells, do you really think we're going to let you do that, Diamond? Eye for an eye. Or not, as the case may be. Where did my red shell go? Can that jump do something? Thank you. That's rubbish. The blue water slide is rubbish. shock could only be in time worse because it makes my fibs completely ineffective.
If somebody's quick enough to hit them.
Oh yeah, now that we unshrink, they start to score.
That was going well.
Oh. Suddenly took a turn for the better.
No, deck haircut. Oh.
And I was checking the CC and I couldn't work it out in time.
Yeah, well, certainly, I mean, you know, the nature of a business like Nintendo's is that you need to obsolete the previous console when you sell a new one. Like, that's kind of just the way it goes. Like, their business model doesn't work if they make something that nobody wants to replace.
Did not hit. Oh. Found a pipe. I need to reset the capture preview again.
What the chat has been updated? You can find the list on the Chatsoft's website. If you go to chatsoft.co.uk and then go onto the updates tab, you can see all of the updates to all of the tracks listed individually.
Yep. But yeah, if you want shit on your Wii now, like you've deleted stuff from the Wii Shop channel and whatnot, you've got to go get it.
Yep.
Like right now. Back it up on SD cards and stuff like that using the tools.
Indeed, Zakharov. The only helpful thing about the Wi-Fi verification service is they're the same as the Switch ones.
Mm-hmm.
So they will at least keep working until the Switch ends of life. Because they are the exact same service that the Switch uses.
Unless Nintendo actively looks for the
Yeah,
Wii
unless they
stops using
deliberately
it,
try to make it not work. But that would be really annoying.
But there are still games on Wii that officially support their online connection, so they won't be taking it down anytime soon. There's literally no reason to. It's a blank HTML page, you know. There's nothing interesting going on there. They're just looking for the return code 200 from an access to a page, you know. Nothing more, nothing less.
And I mean, even if they did, there are homebrew techniques that do not require any Wi-Fi. Yeah, indeed, most of them don't.
Yes.
So it wouldn't stop us, you know. We could still pass a connection test with homebrew.
Yeah. They can't stop us now, no matter what they do.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be too devastating for the community. It would just be irritating.
The very heavy bag tracks and streams are so powerful on this one. However, they're already left. And I've got fibs, so I may as well put them down somewhere.
Yeah, this cave is a good place as any, I think.
Certainly is. Damn it. I'll just place one of them.
Did Nintendo know of Wii? It depends what you mean by that question.
Almost certainly.
Nintendo is a company filled with hundreds of individuals. Like, what do you mean by that question? You know, do employees of Nintendo know about it? Yes, almost certainly. Have Nintendo officially acknowledged its existence in any communication? No.
Will they ever? No, of course not.
No, because they don't. It's their company policy not to acknowledge the existence of things.
Yeah. Oh, well, this story's going pretty well. Oh, is that so? I'm guessing you didn't have much to say.
Well, no. If they've been given the correct press training, which I'm sure they all have, no employee will ever acknowledge the existence of something in an official capacity. Now, what employees say on a personal level is up to them.
They've got yeah, that's a non-answer in itself because they've actually got no legal right to take it down in the first place.
Well, no, I mean,
They
let's
don't.
be honest, they've got very expensive lawyers. If they want to take it down, they'll take it down.
They have a go, but they wouldn't actually succeed.
Depends how big balls Weems has got, you know, in the face of lawyers. You know what I mean?
Well, there's one thing that is
If you
true
get a nice-
about Wayne is that he's stubborn.
Yes, that's true, but would he risk it?
Yeah. Look at all these points I got for running.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if a Nintendo employee uses WinFi. Like, that would not surprise me at all. But like I say, in any, you know, like I say, a company is a collection of individuals. You know, the individuals may at a personal level know about and like or dislike or whatever mods, but you know, the official party line is that they don't. Well, they do exist, but they are illegal. Even though most of them aren't. But anyway,
Yeah.
illegal modifications, and we will not acknowledge any by name or you know the existence of any in any official media. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So you will never see Nintendo mention any mod in its name, you know, in any official communication.
No.
Or any public official communication.
That's true, because they obviously talk.
They obviously have to be able to talk about them in order to ban them from things, but yes, you know, like...
They had to talk to Twitch about Project M before...
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Well,
whether or not they named it by name, they might have said no unofficial
did
modifications.
did they talk to Twitch about Project M? I don't know that they did.
They talked to someone.
They've definitely got various people on Project M, certainly, but I don't think I don't think Twitch specifically... I think Twitch have a position on Project M. I don't think they've been contacted about it. Like I know that you know various Smash tournaments that have been sponsored by Nintendo have been sponsored on the condition
them guys, not Twitch.
of
sorry.
not acknowledging the existence of Project M.
Bizarre company policy.
Exactly. There you go, Zakharov. Okay, fine. Yeah. So if they ban the word WinFi on Miiverse, then clearly that proves that they have an internal ruling that has that on the list of banned words.
Yeah.
So. You know, if you want acknowledgement, there you go. But like
They've
I say, you'll never see it you'll never see them publicly say that on. They'll never see them publicly use the word WinFi. You know, but that's a classic example. And yeah, exactly. Like PM is banned. The two-letter phrase PM is banned on Miiverse.
Despite the fact that it could be
Because
Private
of-
Message, Paper Mario, or a bunch of other.
Yeah,
things
because
like
of the
that.
mod Project M, which uses that acronym, which is a mod. So although they haven't acknowledged its existence, they have sort of proven that they know about it and have thought about it because. It's banned. So yeah, if you want, that's about
No, I have no idea whether or not they banned CTGP or anything of those lines. I'm guessing
Yeah, I don't know
they didn't.
actually. Did anyone post CTGP and get banned on Miiverse?
I never tried personally. You're too fast, I can't catch you.
So yeah, if you want proof that they've had a company meeting about it, there's your proof. You know, they've obviously had enough of a team talk in certain teams that that ban list has been created.
Ugh. I did it for some reason.
But like I say, no public communication will contain it from them because that's what they do.
Yeah, I should have Zakharov just because there's no way they would have removed the timer because they don't remove times on that game. Don't care to moderate the leaderboard at all. Hacked times, bad times. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Right, rude words. Rude words.
Probably not. I don't actually know.
Did anyone try and set a world record with a rude word?
Probably. Wow. Well, in the realm of hacked leaderboards, it should be easy to get one up top, but yeah. For testing purposes. Oh, God. I can't move. This is awful. All the points I just gave away just then to various people.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you set the world record in Mario Kart 8 with a me name that is just a swear word, you know, are they going to delete it?
That might explain why they had the rename policy on Mario Kart Wii, actually. Ghost is uploaded with the name that you connect with, as opposed to the name that's actually on the Ghost. Means they don't have to check the Ghost, as long as you succeed the login, the name's fine. Ow. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, that could explain why they did it that way, you know. Not true of Mario Kart 8, of course, which is very different. Yeah.
But does it actually update the Ghost that gets downloaded?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you upload to the mods, and the Ghost itself that comes down has the name that you have when you connect to Wi-Fi connection
Right.
on the license that's at the time, and that particular piece of Ghost data gets uploaded.
Well, yeah. Well, that's part of the me format of the Lord Scruffy. The physical file format of a me is not variable length. You know, me's are exactly 0x4A bytes long.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no me. You know, the code of that handles me's does not take more than 10. You know, it takes exactly 10 characters. It doesn't take a variable length piece of text. If you look at any me handling code, it literally extracts 20 bytes of characters from the me. So there's no way.
I was pissed off at Mario Kart 8 long before Nintendo decided to copyright me about it. The copyright nonsense was like, yeah, lol, okay. I'm sorry that I'm messing up your precious game, which is actually shit, you know. But I've never really spoken positively about Mario Kart 8 ever. Even when I was modding it and when there were no problems with Nintendo on YouTube, you know? Not harmful starting so readily at the moment, but I am. It's basically impossible. Whatever. Oh god.
You've only been striked once, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. Most of the time it was just video is now not viewable, although once they copyright struck me. I don't know why. If that time was any different, maybe it was an intern doing it or something. No points for that, I'm too laggy to score points on the PAL.
Greetings, Fun Luigi!
Hello. Done for me? No, you got a red shell. I'm not that laggy apparently. Let's try again. Good. Much better.
Greetings, Ali_Y!
Yeah. Hello. You will regret this. Now you dodge it. Yeah.
Magic.
Yes, this is magic. I don't understand the damn thing. Is it just going to be another failure of a race?
Greetings, Thunder1721.
Hello. Seriously now. Well, I did get a point. My falling over a banana caused Thurian to fall over me. Well, that looked pretty good, but no, Diamond drove through it. Rock in a hard place, rock in a hard place. Oh, absolutely awfully timed items. Nice shocks. Kill him.
Interesting technique.
Didn't work.
No. But I like your style.
I'm pressing A, but nothing's happening, dude. I think I'll put my controller down.
Your engine has cut out.
Kazuki realizes he can't possibly, or sorry, he realizes he can't possibly get past anybody else and says it's safe for me. Keeps me company over here.
Can we change the water bottle to appear every 30 minutes? I have no idea.
Oh. Hold on, Variant.
We have never interacted with said bot. It invited itself to our stream.
Yes, that's true.
This is what I'm saying. The robots have taken control. We were
This
just
wasn't my
innocently
idea.
here streaming, and the robots appeared and gave us commands. We obeyed unquestioningly.
Yeah.
Is 120 milliliters of water an hour optimal? We have no idea. The robot tells us so. We believe it. We're fools.
Did not necessarily believe we have the average required to sustain good VR. Oh, good CCs.
Put the average on chance up.
I should.
For your viewing pleasure.
Hmm.
We obey the robot overlord. Exactly. We have no idea whether the robot overlord is acting in our interests or not.
Could we try to kill it?
Exactly. It could be trying to overhydrate us.
Yeah. And then what will we do?
We fear its cute little smiley face. And so we obey.
Flowery greenhousey. 7,500 is a pretty low average, so it's already adjusted. Well, that was cool, except for the fact that it didn't work. Get off. You want items start badly? Okay, you got him. I'll be over here. All losers who don't have items.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, there's nothing special about Stay Hydrated Boss either. Stay Hydrated Boss is just like any other stream chatter, you know, like, Stay Hydrated, you know, like, nobody invited you to this stream, you invited yourselves, and you all came along and started chatting in our chat, you know.
Yes,
the same way, Stay Hydrated Bot can invite itself to any stream and start chatting in any stream's chat.
Thank you for existing, Big Fat Luigi.
But equally, like any other viewer, it could be banned from calling in the chat, you know, if we didn't like it.
Oh, this track is well designed.
Yeah, I don't know if Stay Hydrated Bot invites itself to every stream, or every stream that meets a certain viewer threshold, or what, I don't know. Presumably it looks down the channel list and looks for people who've got at least 10 viewers or whatever, I don't know. Farewell, Ginny! But like I say, it's, you know, fundamentally there's nothing different between Stay Hydrated Bot and any other chatter. Stay Hydrated Bot can chat whenever Stay Hydrated Bot wants to chat, can invite itself to any stream it wants to invite itself to. I mean, obviously we know it's a robot, but, you know, like I say,
it announces itself as a robot too.
Yeah, it can type any message, it can whatever, like it's just another Twitch account, like any other Twitch account. It can go to any stream it wants to and post any message it wants to. It chooses to come to a selection of streams and post a message every hour about Fluid. But, you know, it could choose to do anything.
The robots are taking over, they could choose to do anything.
Yep. But equally, we could choose to ban it.
Yeah.
We could, like any other chat viewer, we could just be like, nope, bam. And it would be gone.
This is intolerable 100cc. I don't even care. I don't know why we're here. Let's never do this again, please, and thank
yeah,
you.
Daz, if you wanna code Twitch bot, you can code your own Twitch bot. Like Twitch are accommodating. They have information about how one might go about it. Like you can code your own chat bot. If you're not a programmer, that's a good excuse to learn how to program.
Yep. Hi. Back up to 12. RN will be right now. When Luigi joins, trying to drag the average back up again with Max VR. Ugh. Oh, yep, it's enough because we've triggered 150cc. We've got a person below 4,800. That would not be possible without someone massively inflating the VR average. So we're back in the max tier room despite the very range of people. Pseudo Switch is fun, Luigi. Peaks!
Seems like somebody already beat you to it then, Scruffy.
Hmm. Damn it. Greedy bastards. Yeah, you stay back too. Ew. I don't know what kind of box priority you have, but I'm here to ruin everything. I see. The sweet spot is very strong.
I think Bradley could do with a stay alert bot which posts every post when any stream has gone beyond 16 hours saying go to bed.
Yeah.
You've been live for 16 hours. Sleep, man, sleep.
Stay realistic, bot. Interesting. Not how I expected that to react. Anyway, now I managed to detach myself from the peanut gallery. Whoa.
What?
Well, I should have seen that coming.
I don't even know what happened.
There was, the box was trapped. Nice. Impressive. Most impressive. I accounted perfectly for the licensing to Japan.
It is.
All according to plan. Woo! Just like that. I didn't even see that.
I did.
I should have seen that. Oh, well, that was unfortunate for you. I'll see ya.
You'll never take me alive!
It's going to give you a bad respawn. Just throwing it out there. Oh, God. blew themselves up. So far, the point scoring is not going too badly. I do hate bouncing over that. Ugh. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, no chance.
Damn it, I didn't get a trick! If I got a trick, I would have made it! Oh, what? What is this garbage? Oh, and then he rolls down the hill at hyper speed. I needed a trick. He didn't trick, dude. enjoy Countdown 2.
Hooray! Enjoyment.
Funny how it goes. Okay, I'm quite tired, dear brother mine.
No, not so bad actually.
Oh, okay. Probably a little fucking over comfortable. Maybe I am the one who's tired. Look at this Mushroom Peak spammer. Little do they know. That vote is a trap. Designed to lure them into thinking that they control us by making us play that several times in a row, but they can't! It will never pick it! It will never pick it! Foiled again. By CGP.
Should make such votes display in red.
No, because then they know. Ones do not know. They'll waste their time thinking that they're being an epic troll or whatever. Rather than picking a ton of bad tracks or something like that, because it will just force them to vote repeatedly for the same one. You know. I'm guessing that didn't actually happen. That's a good spot for a fib. This is also a good spot for it sure blocked the shell for me. It was good.
Psych.
No, it blocked a red shell for me, dude. I didn't give away a point because of that.
Good like he plays then.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god, yeah. Especially like the sliding flips onto John. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, maybe if we fix battle, we'd put battle on the worldwide button and countdown on the CWW button. That would make some sense. We're in no particular rush to fix battle.
Oh. Can you die, please? Yeah. Get out of here. No counters on this track. I mean, all these auto points. I mean, yes, I am in prime position, but the pivot approach did not work. How many red shells do you need? You're in 6th, not bloody 14th. Variant approaches. Whoa! I tried. What? Magic. Oh, this is good. Whoop. Here I go! Okay. Or boxes. Yeah. I wanted more stars so I could dodge shocks.
Really dots, you had 2 in a row.
I know, but I need the one there.
Sure.
Whee! There's my own point for getting a POW. Yeah, you're right. Wah! God damn it! All you didn't even manage to go anywhere with it. I'm so mad. Whoop blip. I could have had like 4th if I just like lined up.
Yes.
But you can access battles with TTs turned off, Zakra.
Hooray! We've got you covered. As we proved in our item ring battle stream.
Yes. Shadows ascends and then sits back down.
Magic.
Mirror mode. Cool. Yes. Red loop. Oh boy. I am fairly tired actually, so I may make this the last. I know this is kind of out of nowhere, but...
Out of nowhere!
Yeah. But I could use a break.
Very well. You shall have one.
Use food in actuality. I'm too hungry to play the game. Oh no! There's actually a lot of people going forwards. It's time to join them. No! It went down.
Yes, it did.
This is so stupid.
With your hopes.
Yeah. No, I'm making the right call here, I think. This is going to get annoying. Oh no, I didn't realise it was in fireball range. Yeah, you kill yourself on that, that's fine with me. This is not a good place to be trying to hit people.
I mean, sort of.
Not gonna work. Bloody hell. Get out of here. I'm gonna get plunked in the middle here. No, I'm not. Belarus are kind enough to take you out of the fireball section before dropping you off.
Serious.
No. Okay. Maybe I should have hop thrown it. Surely. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You should have been hop throwing too. I wanted to gather points in an efficient and timely manner. I failed to gather points in an efficient and timely manner. Now I'm entering the fireball section, feeling kind of out of my depth. Wait, let's fucking go. Second. Oh, I've got another point. Oh. How about it? Oh, he's actually in last. I can't do anything with that. Toodaloo. Toodaloo.
Fifth it will be.
Yes. Eh, close enough. Okay. GG. I need break. Oh! They're laughing at my pain!
They would never do that.
Yes, they are. Bloody birds. I have none of it. Absolutely none of it. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh well, thanks for watching and thanks for playing, everyone.
Indeed.
That's not the TV channel I'm looking for. There we are. Sorry about the slightly shorter than normal stream, but yeah, I need food and I need a break, so.
I hope you all had half as much fun playing as watching as we've had playing, because then we'll have had twice as much fun as you.
That's true. But actually, I hope you had more fun watching than I did playing, because that's the whole point of a stream.
Is it?
Well, yeah. If you're making a good
Let's hope everyone had
fun.
fun.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Take it easy and enjoy any subsequent matches you may have. Let's see who is playing Mario Kart at this point in time. There ain't no countdowns.
Ain't no countdowns when he's gone.
Unsurprisingly, no countdowns. Therefore, nobody gets hosted because they're all losers. Alright. Fare thee well, everyone. I'll see you all next time, where next time is probably tomorrow or sometime in the not too distant future.
Hooray!
Yes. Good night.